happened last time on The Many Lives and Deaths of St. John?
We lost the baby!
All right.
Baby's gone.
Good start. Good start, everyone. Really respected that one.
We went to Kirith. We lost the baby. Shit went down. Everything's fucked. Next session.
Gareth is even more of a criminal than he used.
I will now give the summary of what happened last time on The Many...
No, in all seriousness, I will do it. Alright, so we met up with Valerie's family, and her, best friend was really pissed off at her because she had disappeared for 6 years, apparently, and never told anybody. And she's finally coming back. And then everyone except for Valerie was pushed out of the household because shit was about to get real, so we all decided to go drinking. Azri didn't know what that meant, and she wanted apple juice. And then Brughild gave her alcohol, and then she ran off somewhere. And it was a mad dash to find her. They found her by reconvening at the house, and Colonel Coppabell brought her home, and they had a conversation. And then there was a guy named Grant?
Yep, Grant Fulswood, the local town guard.
Yep, and was good friends with Valerie. So they stayed and had a chat. Copperbell and Gareth had a chess match. And then we all went our separate ways as everybody woke up, and then Valerie and Azrine went to the library, and Gareth and Brughild went to the Inquisition Guild or place. And then so Azrine and Valerie went to the library and got some information on where their next move should be. Gareth confronted his old boss, Otto, who said, "I'm going to arrest you now." And so then he jumped out the window. Brughild witnessed all of this, chased after him. They went into an alleyway. Valerie and Azrine found them, and then they were almost caught, but it was actually Colonel Copperbell.
What
and
a
then
hero.
And then they were trying to decide what to do then. And then Colonel Copperbell was like...
Yeah, that's where we're going to pick up, I think, because we decided that we're going to redo a little bit of just for the sake of clarification and just for the sake of simplicity's sake, we're going to just come back in. We're going to launch back in, add a character. You guys have just kind of been discovered by Colonel Copperbell, but he doesn't seem in any rush to apprehend anybody or anything. In fact, he seems to be making light of the fact that his guild, the Riverboat Corps, and the Inquisition do not seem to share information towards one another. And this seems to be a bit of a bother for Colonel Copperbell. He seems to be kind of miffed, like, oh, I'm supposed to be searching for someone, but they have not told me who, and I do not really deign to know because they have not done a lot for me. Colonel Copperbell seems to be a bit miffed when I'm talking about working with the Inquisition, but he has indeed offered you a safe passage out of Kirith if you wanted to take the river, but he lamented the fact that you're not going to be able to take up his job offer, which was, this is out of character because the DM wants the player's expectations to be very clear. He's offering you a side job that is a dungeon. It is a dungeon delve. It's a dungeon quest for 1,000 gold pieces. He has seen you, and Colonel Copperbell apparently deems you worthy enough to take upon this venture. And he has asked you to come visit him in the morning to accept the contract. You guys were considering whether or not you just want to try and go do it tonight, which Colonel Copperbell, if that were to be recommended to him, would find preposterous, but would indulge you. But the kind of, the scene's kind of in your hands, but I just kind of wanted to reiterate to everyone that only Gareth has a wanted poster on him right now, and this is a big city, and the Inquisition is only a small part of the local enforcement. It's the Riverboat Corps that is the majority of local law enforcement here. Is it going to be dangerous for Gareth to walk around and do some things? It depends on where he goes. If all he's going to do is go back and forth between the local McDonald's and Valerie's shop and the Riverboat Corps office, I'm not going to make him roll for every step he takes. I'm not going to make him roll stealth for every step he takes down the road. I'm only going to make him and you guys
stuff
roll
him in a
stealth.
potato bag.
Oh yeah, you could do that, but I'm not even going to say you really need to disguise him that much. As long as you guys don't go to risky areas, like you try to go to the duchy or the cathedral or the library or places that are important and would be staffed by guards. It's only when you guys want something that the DM is going to put risk involved,
go
and
back to
walking
the
up and down the
HQ?
streets not really worth. Yeah, if Garrett starts going back to the HQ, he rolls stealth, and then he dies. I've already Garrett is already well aware at this point. His self-preservation is the only thing keeping him alive because this is life is in your hands. But yeah, as it stands, it's dark. It's probably like 7 o'clock at night at this point. It's the sun is dipping down below the horizon. It's gonna be sundown, like nighttime, in about like 5 to 10 minutes. But it's kind of up to you guys what to do at this point. Yeah, this is kind of the start of the game I pitched to you guys a long time ago, where some of you guys are fugitives on the lam.
So, I think we should take this job offer not only because it would give us funds for our future endeavors, but it'll gain us some experience in things that are to come.
Wait. Are we like out of character planning what we're gonna do?
Yeah, we're out of character planning what we're gonna
So, out of character, I like money.
My recommendation is everyone kind of like plans out of character and then represents that in character after everyone kind of knows like, all right, we're good on this.
The job offer is good because we need money, because money is experience, and also we're gaining like favor.
Yeah, and then
favor is worth more than gold.
It's 1,000 gold.
Yeah, I think we were all agreeing to do the job.
Right.
Yeah.
Did we want to do it tonight, or did we want to do it in the morning?
I think it would be easier for us to do it in the morning because, as we've seen, it's much more dangerous to do things at night than it is during the day.
Azarine is very correct. If you guys wanted to do it at night, you can. It would just be like there might be one more encounter because it's
there's
like
already a deadly
predators.
encounter.
Yeah, it's like there's going to be more stuff. But that also means possibly more reward when maybe you kill that extra encounter and it drops loot. Or maybe you guys have a plan that is like super clever and it requires the dead of night. I don't know what that plan would be.
Is it worth taking the hit points before we even get to our quest, though?
Yeah, that's kind of it's nighttime. If you're traveling at night, then it's like DM has permission to roll random encounters on like special tables, depending on where you guys are.
I may be super dexterous, but at the same time, if I get hit once and I get hit hard, I'm down.
I'm gonna be real. I have no faith in myself. I want to do this in the morning.
Yeah. And it also gives us time to like reconvene, like get some supplies or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe, sleep.
DM question also. What's your spell slots at, and what's your hit die at? Is another question, because if you long rest, you'll recover both of those. I don't know if you guys are missing any, but
I'm not missing any.
I got one hit die.
Okay, yeah, you might want to take a nap then and get those extra
and
2
all
back.
of my spell slots.
I'm stacked the fuck up. Just good to go.
You're good. Garrett's ready. DM will be clear about the rules when it comes to, and when you guys are out in a dangerous situation, I will still let you short rest or even long rest. Long rest is obviously going to be something a lot more risky biznatch, and when you're taking short rest, I kind of expect that you guys like do something to like maybe find a secret room behind a secret door, and then you close the door behind you and like put up some boards and nails and stuff like that, and then you guys take a short rest and like casually relax, and then you get back to adventuring. But like, so you guys can short rest while you're out, or even long rest while you're out. It's just a question of like, you guys got to convince me you've done enough to make sure that it's a safe time to do that, because that's what a long rest or a short rest needs. Is you guys need to have a feeling of safety, quote unquote. So you guys will have the opportunity to expend hit die if you guys are thinking tactfully and like, oh well, we could probably repurpose this room as a short range campsite for the time being. I still might roll random encounters, but like there's a good chance that the encounter might pass you by, or it might be just more of a puzzle-based encounter where it's like, okay, well, how can we throw this thing off our scent or something like that? So just to let you guys know, because we haven't really dived into it yet. But okay, so it sounds like the general consensus is we're gonna wait till morning, and then we're gonna set out to do this possible job for Colonel Copperbell.
Now, do we want to wait and discuss what our plan of action is after this? Do we want to discuss that now, or do we want to wait until after this dungeon, quote unquote? I think we should wait until after. But if you guys want to discuss it ahead of time, then
I can do that. I don't.
You guys had the tentative idea of like, oh well, maybe we'll take the river down the way, but that might be who knows what you might find in the dungeon or what happens between now and then. That's also a perfectly reasonable conclusion.
Yeah, so let's wait on making a final decision on where we go from here after the goblin cave that he was talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Shifting back into character now, Colonel Copperbell's kind of getting back up on his horse. He's and I guess he's just waiting for a response from one of you guys. I suppose I'll have to find another adventure of some kind. I can do my best to find someone more worthy of this, but... yes,
we will be taking that offer.
Indeed, capital, wonderful. I expect to see you 4 as soon as possible early in the morning. Are you still certain about doing it tonight, though? I can make it happen, but
We will wait until morning.
Very well,
Seems
then.
more reasonable.
Indeed, I completely agree. Well, by all means, then, finish up whatever you're doing this night, I suppose. And he takes out a brass pocket watch out of his breast pocket and clicks it open and looks at the time and just goes, oh, my goodness, indeed, I must be going. He spurs off his horse and he begins walking down the side of the roads. Unless any of you guys stop him, or he's gone. He returns back to his abode for the evening. What are you four up to at this point? He expects to see you guys early in the morning, like at the crack of dawn, essentially.
If we don't have any other plans, we should head back to Valerie's and rest for the evening.
I could well do with a nap and a bath.
Ditto.
Just please don't take all the hot water this time, please.
We have plenty. Not pull.
Fine.
What do you
Damn.
mean? All right.
Oi, but aren't you from the ocean?
Yes.
Isn't the water the cold?
Do I not deserve to have a warm bath now and again?
I'm just saying that's quite strange.
All I care about.
I actually prefer tropical waters.
Brooklyn waves a hand and peeks around the alleyways.
Sure, roll perception check for me.
Where did I put this? Okay, there it is.
Valerie, I'm assuming that your shower amenities, bath amenities won't really suit someone of my size. Am I correct?
Usually you can fit.
Comfortably. Yeah.
I mean, my dad was a sizable man. Not
yes.
as tall as you, but...
Dwayne the Boulder Seal, they used to call him.
Excuse me. Okay. Well, Garrett kind of concedes to that because he was really planning to just sit somewhere in a bathhouse.
She has like multiple bathrooms, and there's one like specifically meant for her dad, and he was a burly dude. He mined a lot.
Okay. Okay. Well,
We can have duels to the death to figure out who goes first.
All right. Do you guys depart, or rather return?
I mean, she said she was going to duel, right? We got to roll for attack, right?
Gotta roll for attack, yeah. You guys start your way back down the roads towards
Please
Valerie's.
do not fight in my house for who gets to bathe first.
It's getting darker and darker at this point, and it's at this point that I'm gonna ask everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
For the darkness.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I died.
I'm missing one though. Oh, don't worry.
Gareth
Don't you
died.
worry, Azarine. Gareth dies. No. But you do kind of... The air starts to feel cold, and when you exhale, it's more like mist than it is anything else. And you can't help but shake this overbearing feeling that you're being watched. And Gareth particularly is a little bit on edge at this point, kind of considering his options and wondering if maybe Inquisition is just around every turn of the corner. But with you guys and your passive perception and just being mindful walking down the roads, yeah, you do come across like you maybe almost turn a corner and there is an Inquisition officer there who's buying supplies to bring back to market, and then like Brooke will like hold up her hand, and everyone stops around the corner for a second, and then you guys wait for that person to go before resuming your journey back. But Gareth, you are like 900% certain that you hear like whispering in the alleyways directly underneath your watch. Like you look to your right and you just see this narrow path, this alleyway that it descends down like stairs into almost pitch blackness, and you feel like you hear whispers, and when you're and you feel like a kind of pain aching over your left breast, but there's nothing else really of note besides that. You think for a moment the DM's gonna ask you to roll perception, but instead he's just gonna ask you what your passive perception is.
12.
Okay, in that darkness, you think
With dark vision. Dark vision.
Oh, okay. With dark vision, you deduce that with dark vision, you deduce you should be able to see up to 60 feet, and you can only see about 20 feet. And for a second, you're like, oh, that's really dark. Is this what normal people see when it's like night vision? But then you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, wait a second.
And then that darkness kind of shifts and moves and wobbles and kind of flows back and forth, the surface of it kind of shaking like troubled waters, and you see kind of like a slick sort of something slick and wet and shiny that kind of dips up above the surface for a second before diving back down into this vertical shimmering plane. What do you do?
The plane. What is the plane? Those are like
a plane isn't a mathematical plane.
Well, yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying like the edge of it, like the boundary of this plane, right? Like what does it look like?
It's a vertical plane that runs flush against the wall.
Or like, no, I'm saying like.
Oh, it's just pitch. It's like made of black fog. It's just like it.
Fog? Okay, I can deal with fog.
And stuff kind of.
Fog door.
Yeah, everything. Something kind of like shifts beneath its surface every now and then. Kind of like if that scene from Dagobah with Star Wars, like it's just all like mist except it's vertical, there's water beneath it and you can kind of see it shifting every now and then. But this doesn't really have that kind of. Obviously, Garrett's pretty convinced that this probably isn't water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing this, he kind of stops and stares, and whoever's closest to him, he kind of grabs their shoulder or whatever part, like he could easily place his hand on. Like everyone. So shoulder for the other two, and then just, if it's Brookhilde, he just mitts on like top of her head.
Yeah,
you just like turn Brookhilde and Valerie.
There was something down there.
Anybody else who examines this thin alleyway going down, it looks like this was like a forgotten. It looks like this alleyway is the result of a dispute between property, where it was like, well, you can't cross this line. It's like, okay, well, you can't cross this line either, and just generated like a 2-foot wide alley essentially between these two buildings, that just goes down.
I can't get through that.
Anybody who looks down just sees this like black shimmering inkiness, and even your dark vision is not strong enough to pierce through it.
Does everyone in the party have dark vision?
I think so, but either way, everyone can see this. It's like within. It's very obvious once you're kind of like, if you're just walking past, you wouldn't have noticed it. But if you were like now to stop and look, you're like, well, that doesn't look right.
I would say we should investigate, but and he just kind of looks at like how the width of the alley, and then just kind of looks down at himself.
There's probably only 2 of you that can fit down this alleyway. I don't know how stocky Brookhilde is, but maybe my mental image is different than the reality.
I'd rather not squeeze myself into a weird darkness sandwich, if you don't mind.
We'll just keep a note of it until until we can discern where these are coming from, I believe.
You start to see the rest of the bakers and other, like the smithery starting to close up shop for the day. There's like the lantern man coming through and lighting the lanterns. This place does have a bit of a nightlife. So the streets aren't fully empty even when it's darker. Do you guys just depart? Continue on your journey?
I mean, like Garrett, I feel like we should send someone to check it out at least. I feel like, I don't know. I'm saying this out of character, by the way. Like I feel like we should probably check that out.
I don't feel like we're gonna learn anything from the Vegemite yet.
I'll let Gareth roll a investigation check with advantage, because I feel like this is something that click with him.
Man. Oh, hey.
Okay. This looks a lot like the things that attacked you the other night.
Yeah, I mean, we can't let those things run around him. If
why
they're
not?
here because of us.
And your point?
And, like, he just doesn't even want to deal with Brughild. He just, like, looks over her head and just looks at Valerie, like, Valerie, please.
What do you want me to do?
You're small enough. I'm just saying, if I could go down there, I would.
What are you saying? Saying you're scared?
Derek just stares at you, looks at the wall, and pushes against the wall, and he cannot get through. Like, it barely even, like it splits,
His
head.
titty squishes.
Ooh, good.
Yes,
titty
I am
squish.
too scared to go down this passage. That is the only reason I cannot pass.
Yeah. Gareth, you're gonna roll
already-
a dexterity saving throw, please.
Yeah, that's fair.
As you kind of like sidestep into the alley to kind of like show him like, look, I can't fit. And you're right. I'd make you roll acrobatics, and it'd have to be a very good roll in order for you to like squeeze down there. Maybe if they buttered you up.
No,
But you
no.
feel you
Oh,
kind
we're
of
gonna
reach in.
oil up Gareth.
Yeah, when you're kind of like looking at Valerie, you're like, look, I can't fit. Something grabs your arm, like grabs the hand that is down the alleyway. And
can I do a contest of strength? Can
I will.
yank that thing out?
I will let you attempt this
Athletics?
process. Yes.
Oh, for real shit?
No, I'm afraid you don't. You feel something grab your like. It feels like your whole ass hand though. It doesn't feel just like something wrapped around your wrist. It looks like it feels kind of like you dipped your hand into glue, like a bucket of glue.
Oh, I don't like that.
And Gareth just kind of looks to the right and tries to kind of like pull his hand back, and it just doesn't happen. And then it just kind of pulls, and okay, yeah, you kind of like brace yourself with your other hand before your face could just get like slapped against the side of the wall essentially. But yeah, you guys see Gareth kind of get like partially yanked down the alleyway.
Oh, that's exactly what I was talking about. Brookill grabs his other arm and pulls on it.
Roll athletics.
Can I do a helping athletics?
Yeah, give Brughild advantage if you'd like.
Oh, she doesn't need it.
I don't think she needs
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm fine.
Okay, before Valerie kind of looks like, oh god, like Valerie and Azri kind of like get ready to assist, and Brookill just like, dwarvish strength just kind of like leverages him in the right way, and you kind of like tip him over, and it's like going with the weight. But yeah, you yank Gareth away, and your hand comes free of this. You can see now, and it's like just darkness. And it kind of slinks back down into the alleyway, having failed to grab Gareth. And Gareth kind of like tumbles over onto his butt. And you look around and try to find Brookill, but you can't find her.
God damn it.
But yeah, you see the darkness. It kind of like recedes deeper into the alleyway, away from you guys.
You wanted me to just walk into that?
Yes.
I want to take. Is there like a stone on the ground or something?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of loose stones. Yeah, you hear muffled sounds from Brookill.
I feel like I'm forgetting something, but it's nothing important.
Roll a dexterity check, Azarine. Just basic dexterity. Just click the dexterity board.
Basic dex check.
Yeah, basic dex check. I don't think you're necessary. Well, actually, if anybody is proficient in what is your proficiency bonus?
My proficiency bonus is 2.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll add the 2 on there. If anybody's proficient at throwing rocks, I guess it would be Azarine of all people. So yeah, okay. With a 10,
I have 2 chakrams.
Yeah, so
that I throw on a daily basis.
you chuck the rock down the way, and it kind of bounces off the wall, and it like hits the surface of this like bog, and it kind of just disappears, and the wall kind of like wobbles for a second under like as you kind of see like you don't really see the ripples, but it moves as if there are. And it begins to recede back further and further until it starts to kind of it begins to kind of like dissipate, kind of like it becomes less dense.
Is this alleyway relatively long?
You don't know where it ends. It probably twists and turns through like maybe a few city blocks, maybe a few lefts and rights thrown in there.
I'm going to. Ooh, can I use this? I'm going to use. With your permission, can I use Dazzle You to create like a light?
Oh yeah,
like-
totally. It's like thaumaturgy, right? It's a similar thing. You can just kind of create whatever you like. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it can
So I'm
create
gonna create a small light.
just like your finger like has like a blue flame on it essentially. You can instantaneously create like a small light or something. You can instantly like make a candle or something like that. Oh, a shower of sparks. Yeah, you can totally make various harmless sensory effects. So yeah, you can make a light show.
I want it in the general direction of the
Range is 10
the
feet,
thing.
so it can only go about 10 feet. You have to get within
Right.
11
Yeah.
feet to cast it then if you're okay with that.
Uh,
Because I will warn, when you get closer, it starts to kind of like rebuild up again, and you're kind of like walking through the alleyway in this very
I want to
narrow
send it.
space.
I want to get it like with like if I'm standing like right at the entrance to the alleyway, I want
Okay.
to send it 10 feet from me.
Oh, okay. So you stay outside and kind of send the. It
Yeah.
shrinks away from the light as it gets closer, but you have a limit of 10 feet before the sparks start to go out. You just simply cannot maintain the magic at that distance. The ethereal disturbance that you are creating in order to make these sparks happen is not sustainable farther away from your natural chakra, your natural key.
I'm going to step into the alley about 5 feet.
Okay. When you step into the alley about 5 feet, the darkness kind of begins to. It comes back as much as it can. It doesn't like the darkness, but the darkness is. You're not illuminating this darkness. It is it begins to try and slowly come closer, and inch by inch it gets closer and closer to the light until eventually it looks like it could attempt to subsume the light. And unless you step back out of the alleyway, it's going to come closer and closer and closer until the inevitable happens.
I'm gonna step out of the alley.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like it's blocked, like it can't come out of this alleyway at least.
You guys go look around. You're just like on a generic street. Like every now and then, like you see the lantern person coming through and just like lighting a few of the torches underneath the glass orbs of the street side lanterns. A horse and carriage go by. Like some basic stuff happens.
Gareth finally stands up.
You save Brookhill. Gareth, you felt like a hero when you pulled your cock out of her mouth.
Please never say that to me again. I will ban
okay,
you,
that's fine.
unfriend you.
No, you can do what you want from me. I don't know why that rolled twice, but whatever.
Bloody hell! Oh! Brutal gets up and cracks her back in an absolutely gut-wrenching noise.
Oh.
Ugh. And she dusts off her robes. I can't believe you're such an idiot. And heavy too. Ugh. You should stop eating less.
And that's calling the kettle black. Anyways.
Ugh. So, are we agreeing to minding our own business and letting the inevitable darkness do its own thing? Or,
I have no idea what to do about this thing.
Right now, it seems like it's stuck in this alleyway.
Oh, this sounds like a perfect opportunity to get the hell out of Dodge.
Gareth feels uncomfortable leaving this obviously dangerous thing, just be, but there's nothing that he can really do, so he kind of concedes.
I'd do something, but unfortunately, I don't have anything that's discreet.
I throw my dagger out and see what happens.
Sure. Roll a dexterity attack action with your dagger. I believe you are proficient in throwing daggers.
Goodbye, dagger.
I am proficient.
Excellent.
Dexterity saving throw?
If that would be the equivalent of making a roll 20 happen with adding your proficiency and adding your dexterity, then by all means.
It would be.
All right. With an 8, it's not going to be. This isn't a difficult task. It's not moving. It's just down the way. You've thrown daggers before in bars as part of an entertainment, kind of like fuck it, let's get drunk and try to throw darts essentially. So you whip it through, and it hits butt first, so it wouldn't have done any damage if this was a real creature and it was a 8, but it hits there and it embeds into it, and slowly that dagger starts to get just dragged into it until the blade starts to hit, and once the blade hits, there's this squelching sound and purplish ooze and purplish blackish ooze starts to slowly seep down against until it fills the miniature ravines between the cobblestones. and it seems to be like bleeding almost, like this wall, and then eventually the dagger kind of fully is subsumed inside of this wall of blackness, and it is gone. Please mark down 1 dagger.
Well, there goes my dagger. I probably should have used something that wasn't given to me by family.
DM will find out how much it costs for a dagger now. Probably a good idea.
I don't like that.
At least I know it bleeds.
And what do? We throw all of our weapons at it until it eats them all?
I
Mine come
wouldn't
back to
try
me.
that. I was just curious.
I cast Produce Flame and chuck it into the alley.
Okay, roll an attack action. I believe that's a spell that is an attack, right? Okay, yeah, that definitely, you hit it with this, you just kind of like, all right then, and just go like, snap your fingers and like a ball of flame appears in your hands and you chuck it down the alley and it strikes at the side of it and there's immediately this like sound as it kind of flails back and forth and you see a bunch of tentacles whip out of the darkness and just back and forth. Steam starts to emit off it, blood kind of starts to fall out of it. Roll damage, please.
That's disgusting.
Okay, 3 fire damage. Yeah, it seems like it's kind of sort of a little bit on fire, and the darkness kind of just like, it quickly recedes back like the tide down the alleyway and out of sight.
Whatever it is, it's definitely physical.
It ate your dagger. That makes no sense.
Okay, so we know it's physical, and we know it eats things. We also know it hates fire.
Crewhild kind of scratches the side of her head. Just sheer confusion.
It disappears down the alleyway out of sight. It probably like turned a corner or whatever, but yeah, it's unless you were to pursue it, it's gone.
If only I was a pyromancer.
I guess we're done here then, aren't we? Can we
suppose.
go home now? Take a bath? Have a
Yeah,
nap?
no, I mean, Gareth kind of relented once. He's like, he literally can't do anything. So he is like fully give like as much as he hates that, like what is he gonna do?
Oof, Blondie, you might want to unplug and replug in your microphone or something. We are starting to
Wonderful.
get that water damage. Yeah, he'll be back. But yeah, you guys, okay, you guys leave it be for now. And congratulations, you solved my wall of meat puzzle. Everyone gets 30,000 XP. You guys are level 10.
Really?
No. You guys walk down the road. And every now and then you continually, well, everybody roll perception, please. Just a general perception, please.
Perception roll.
Perception check. Percept check. Okay. All right. Yeah,
Not great.
I'll assume that Gareth probably, I'll just use his passive perception for now, which is not high enough anyway. So Azreen and Gareth are kind of walking down,
Sorry
sort of
about
just
that.
looking, I don't worry about it. But Brughild and Valerie, like as you step over like grates and stuff like that, like sewage grates, you can like hear something like beneath you. And every now and then, like out of the sides of, I don't know what they call it, like drainage ditches and stuff like that, you see like black fog that kind of mixes with the natural white fog of the city. But you're close to home.
So as they're walking, Valerie taps Azarine on the shoulder. Azarine, this doesn't feel right. It seems like our past conversation on the caravan is raining to be true.
It would seem so.
As you continue to walk through these city streets, you see other people. Some people closing up shop for the day. Maybe you say hello. Maybe you try to ignore them. Either way, nothing happens. Continue to walk down the city blocks. It maybe takes like half an hour to an hour to get home, and you like hear like slithering beneath your feet underneath where there's like sewage, drainage ditches and stuff like that. You see like black mist that pours out the sides of manhole covers and stuff like that, but nothing happens. You do not hear screaming off in the distance. You do not hear the sounds of battle or like guards like readying the Minutemen or anything like that. Every now and then you do hear like stuff beneath your feet, but nothing happens.
We're slowly just turning into lich thralls.
Seems like it's only out for us, whatever it is.
I think it has something to do with our markings.
Brughild peeks around to the nearest ditch or grate, or just.
Oh, you can find like a Stephen King's like drainage ditch along the side of the road. Yes, it is distinctly devoid of clown.
I would like to peek down into the ditch.
Okay, roll an investigation check for me.
There's no clown.
There's no clown. The water that's supposed to be down there though distinctly looks dark black though, like ink. It looks like ink, and it flows in a strange way. Like the current like swaps which way it's going every now and then, and little whirlpools form for a moment and then disperse again.
If a child fits inside an ditch,
can a Brughild
I suppose
fit?
I suppose a dwarf.
I suppose a Brughild could fit in an ditch. Dare you have that kind of courage?
No, I was just gonna fireball it.
You can give it a shot. Yeah.
Put the hand in and just like.
I'll give you advantage.
Fireball.
I'll give you advantage on fireball. Is this like a cantrip? Can you just like do it instantly?
Fireball like produce flame. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just to light up.
I can just spam it.
A ball arrives in your flames and lights up a ball arrives in your hands of fire and lights up the small hole. Essentially, it is definitely just like a small ditch that someone dug to like channel water off the side of the road. It doesn't really go anywhere. There's no under city street necessarily, but it does run all along the road. And you produce fire, and when the fire happens, it is quite bright and glowy, and the inky black water kind of like flows in more erratic patterns. Are you just gonna drop the ball? Are you gonna try and fire attack this thing, or are you just asking for illumination?
No, I was gonna chuck the fireball at the thing. At the flop.
You drop the fireball down there, and there's this immediate like dispersal of the water, like Moses parting the sea. Like this black ink tries to like get out of the way of the fire as it drops down and hits the dirt below. Which is probably like you see a few like silver pieces and stuff like that, like gold coins, like from people that have just like lost change over the centuries. Stuff like that. As the water just like completely parts away, trying to get away from the flame, and then the fire hits the ground and pops. And there's another squealing sound and hissing sound, and the blackness kind of disperses up the way that it came, or the way you guys came, and you actually start to see like normal water begin to trickle through again.
How peculiar.
Does this mean that the problem is taken care of for the time being?
Suppose it is, and we know its weakness.
Which is unfortunate for a few of us.
Look, don't come and tell me you can't hold a torch.
I mean, I can, just your ability to use fire is more advanced than mine.
Brughild smiles and just kind of, stands up straight and proud. We can't all be gifted.
I suppose.
Did you guys know that torches cost only 1 copper piece?
Yeah.
You could buy 100 of them with a single torch. Holy shit. Anyway.
I mean, it would be heavy as shit.
It would be. They would 1 pound each. I guess reasonable. Alright, yeah, you guys continue back home until you get outside the front door of the jewelry shop, which is currently closed, but Valerie has a key. And you enter inside, and nothing happens. You look out the window behind you as you shut the door, waiting for like some kind of black monstrosity to shoot out of the ground or something, but nothing happens. The night watchmen are beginning to make their rounds. Valerie would know that amongst the night watchmen, there is like it's kind of like just a couple of horses and a third person that just walks along the streets. And one of them is usually an inquisitor. So being out on the streets after dark is a good way to avoid being seen by any Inquisition officers. Though there's usually only 1 or 2 per district. You enter back inside and shut the door and close the blinds and lock behind you and ascend upstairs to the proper living quarters of the CL residence. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Wonderful.
Oh, Valerie's the BRB.
But yeah, everyone hears this happen for Valerie. It's all great. Everyone claps. Then we go back upstairs to find ourselves just back in the sealed residence. Helena says hello to Valerie and the rest of you guys. There's a stew that is on the pot already, and a cup of tea, waiting as well. Not like a cup waiting for each of you, but there's tea in a teapot. What do you guys do with the night? I suppose it's the beginning of a long rest as far as I'm concerned, so everyone might as well just add their extra 2 hit die now, because I'm not going to roll random encounters in a safe city. So if you're missing 1 or 2 hit die, listen, you should just take it when I offer it, man.
No.
No, I love to die. Valerie, we're back home. You did a good job looking outside to make sure there weren't any Inquisition officers around. There's usually 1 or 2 that do kind of make their rounds as part of the regular watch. So you lock the door, you close the blinds, you're back up in your home. The long rest begins now. Add your hit die back that you're missing up to 2, considering your 3rd level, and so you get back half of your hit die, which we're going to round up to 2. So everyone add 2 of their hit die if they're missing any, and recover all your spell slots if you're missing any as well. You are free to. The scene is yours. We long rest until tomorrow. Otherwise,
I fist fight Gareth to know who gets to take a bath first.
I mean, there's multiple tubs, isn't there? Or
it's just one big tub, I'm afraid. This is just a humble family residence rather than a large hotel or something. And I say humble, fancy. But
she tries to fist fight, but I mean, I just push her down, and I just go into the
Valerie's
bathroom.
entire home is just full of arguing, and Valerie screaming at them to shut up, or she'll kick them out.
The horror. Valerie, this is the fullest this house has been in over a decade. Gareth takes a bath.
Yep.
Eventually, you find clothes that are like, maybe they're a little short, like around the sleeves, but they're not as short as perhaps you were anticipating. Waiting for you when you get out. That is, everyone eats. Nobody has to mark down rations or anything because you guys are mooching off of the Helena funds, essentially.
Wait, is Gareth wearing Valerie's dad's clothes?
Was that not what you were offering him earlier?
I don't remember offering it, but I don't care.
Oh, well, that's
I mean,
I misunderstood.
I was just gonna put my own clothes back on.
Oh, never mind then. Why did we talk about how big your dad was then? Why
the tub.
Oh, the tub. Oh, I thought it was because you're gonna borrow like pajamas or something like that. Oh, I misunderstood why that conversation happened. All right, yeah, the tub is quite conveniently sized.
Gareth just decides to put on.
No, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. I thought that was why you guys were talking about it. I was like, well, a little weird, but I'm all about it. But no, I misunderstood. Yeah, the night passes uneventfully. Otherwise, just the rest of you guys do whatever it is you want to do. Does anybody have an interruption or a thing they wanted to do as they got ready for bed and went to sleep? I don't want to drag this out any.
Anything fun? Do I have anything fun? I don't have like a game or whatever.
Yeah, I guess
I do actually. I have a type of game
It's just a
set on my
pastime
background.
of people being slightly irritated with each other, waiting to get out of the 2 bathrooms for 4 people.
It's so terrible. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go around to each of you and just kind of ask you like, how does your character like spend the time preceding like bed? Like, what's their like calm down activity? Just for the sake of it. So I'm gonna just go in order of how I see them appearing on Roll20. Though Brookhild, I guess I'll go with you first because you're already beginning to say something. Do you have a game you said?
Yeah, I realized I have a one type of gaming set from my background that I forgot to decide, so I'm gonna go for like cards or something.
A dwarvish solitaire, if you will.
Yeah.
Excellent. The deck, it's actually an 84-piece deck. Dwarves really just have they really have a problem with number counters in casinos. So they just have to have a bigger deck. But okay, yeah.
They're compensating.
They're compensating. They just have this really big fuck all massive huge deck. But no, it's you play a game of solitaire unless you want to play with somebody else.
I suppose I could propose someone to challenge me at Dwarven Solitaire.
Do a tear, if you will.
Dual tear.
Nobody answers your cries.
No?
You are back to playing by yourself.
Fine, then.
Apparently.
Jeez.
Bunch
of potty poppers.
What is Azarine's nightly routine before bed?
She, when it's finally her turn in the bathroom, she takes no less than 2 hours.
She goes last, evidently.
So she goes last. She always goes last. I mean, it takes a lot to clean all those scales, you know?
Azarine has a toothbrush in the bathroom. She's just going down every single scale.
Oh god.
The horror. I hate brushing my hair in the morning.
My OCD.
And
Right.
so, when she's done, she probably just goes into like the living room area if the rest of the people are still up, and she's probably just gonna read through the history of Northerly Sea ruins and just try and get a better sense of things.
Okay, yeah, roll history. That's the thing. This is also kind of like downtime for you guys. So if you ever had like a skill you were trying to develop, or like tools you wanted to use to do something, or if you were trying to like alchemize new potions or whatever, like the long rests are a good way to accomplish those sorts of things.
We have new books.
Yeah, I got a couple new books, I think. Valerie, what do you do before bed?
So Valerie has already gotten out of the bath at this point. She's dried herself off, and she is on the couch of the living room right now, and she is polishing her rapier, maintaining her blade, as well as the metal on her hat to make sure it does not rust.
Why don't you roll a wisdom check for me and a sleight of hand check for me together?
Okie dokie.
And a wisdom to see if you can back that up.
She knows her blades. Wow.
All right.
She knows.
Wow.
She knows.
This all the time.
You have these tools. You're ready to go. I assume you. Well, Brookehild actually just brought home like a box full of like potions and oils and whetstones and stuff like that. So you're running the blade over the whetstone and trying to just get the kinks out. It takes a exceptionally long time this time because you're normally like your blade is you fend off some wild animals, or it's mostly just a pointy thing to like get stuff away from you. Like, look, I'm gonna stab you. You don't really need to use it as often as perhaps an adventurer might be expected to. Like, it's, maybe you play it up, but it's like, okay, most confrontations end with like the two parties going their separate ways with only a couple like gashes here or there maybe. But this time was like you barely survived like Forked Olahan. You're like, you have to like put the blade tip under your one boot and you're kind of like stepping on it to try and like bend it back into the right way. You're trying to like get a lot of scratches out. You're trying to use the whetstone to like get a lot of kinks out of the edge of the blade. It's a long process, but you do eventually manage to get your equipment fit again.
As Valerie is sharpening her sword and getting it back in a peak, she kind of like frowns to herself. I've never had to use a whetstone before.
The horror. Is there anything else that you do with your nightly routine, or is that a directed thing at someone? I suppose anybody can answer. Valerie.
She's just spending her introverted night alone, just sharpening.
Go see Helena.
Elena's fine. She's in a room reading a book or something.
You just hear whales down the hall. No, I'm kidding. But it's a pretty average day for I guess the adventure of Valerie. But okay, moving down to Gareth, I suppose, and we'll resolve Brookehild in a second.
Garrett's not doing his normal, nightly like systematic routine because it wasn't much of a normal day for him. Whenever he got out of the bath, he hasn't been very talkative this entire encounter, like since they found him again, and he just kind of he just mutters goodnight to the group and just kind of just closes the door and just kind of sits on whatever. I'm assuming he had a bed, right? Because I can't remember. Right?
Yeah, you're in one of the guest rooms. It's
one of the guest rooms, yeah. And he's just he wants to sleep but he can't, so he's just kind of like this, like actually just kind of like sitting up straight on the bed, kind of like staring out of one of the windows before just kind of playing with this gold necklace that's around his neck until he does finally fall asleep. And that's all he does.
All right. In the waning end of the night, we have Azarine reading by candlelight with Brookehild that's kind of snuck up behind her and is like her nose and her eyes like peeking over the back of the sofa essentially. And Valerie off in the corner kind of like going through the motions of cleaning all of her stuff. Brookehild, you see that she's reading a book that just has a lot of sketch art of like coasts and sea spires and a few like ruins here. It's a very strongly academic book. A few of the pages that she's flipped through have been like some anatomical like reference sheets essentially. But this seems like a scientist's, like a scholar's kind of book. And it's it talks a lot about like ruins along a coast somewhere. Kind of all you really get. That's. And I think Azreen probably will, unless you roll stealth, she kind of like notices that like Brookild is kind of like just peeking at.
Oh
what
yeah,
she's
no,
reading.
she does. Everybody knows she's snooping all the time, so.
Yeah, so
Also,
Azreen
it's
sees
not-
that Brookild's like trying to read some of the pages as well.
It's not really easy to hide in Val's living room. Also, they're all there, so.
It's just a big circle essentially. Yeah, it's not like there's walls or anything, but you know.
I unfortunately don't think this is going to be very interesting to you.
I would have to agree.
Okay.
Brookild returns to shuffling cards or whatever. Shuffling ridiculous amounts of cards.
You go for the full like shuffle, and it's like 30 seconds of just as all the cards like go through.
There's like the sounds of page flipping, like
It's like a
card
foam book.
shuffling, and like whetstone sliding.
Oh, it's a terrible time trying to get to sleep in the Seal residence tonight.
Aw. Valerie, you don't have any paper and a writing utensil, do you?
Of course, it should be in the room by the back near the kitchen.
Thank you.
I'm gonna grab a writing utensil and a piece of paper, and I'm gonna jot down a couple of notes.
Also, it helps if you hold the waystone, if you motion it away from you, rather than
What,
towards you.
so I don't cut myself?
Yes, but
I'm
I
going to cut myself?
just you seem to be struggling a little there.
Like, as Azarine tells Valerie this, like, the sword kind of catches on, like, a nicked part of the whetstone, and she's like, the sword kind of, like, juts towards her, and she's like, okay.
Temporary fumble
I'll take your
happens.
advice.
Just, I have experience with my chakrams. They need to be sharpened about once or twice between sessions. I throw them during my routines.
How do you even sharpen those?
It's quite
Carefully?
easy.
Yeah. When your blade is a circle, every direction is a dangerous direction.
It just takes some time. A lot of practice. Trust me, I've nicked myself more times than I can count.
In theory, the insides of the rings are safe to touch. In practice, I wouldn't do it in real life, but here we are.
Like, in practice, I managed to cut myself on, like, bottles of Gatorade, so, like, no, I don't trust the chakra.
In practice, a lot of things are safe.
Yeah,
in
in
practice.
practice, in theory. I've hurt myself with dice before. Okay, is that it? Is that it for you guys? I won't do this every night. This is just like once again, like
No, yeah.
first night in a city of like relative safety. So I was kind of interested in what you guys kind of like, what your
First?
characters do.
It's more
Well,
like
as
the
This is
together.
our second. This
Oh,
is our
right.
second.
Oh, second night, yeah. But that was not. That was the last night was not a. That last night was there was lots happening. Like the baby got
Oh,
lost
true,
and
true.
Copperbell was there, and it was like not a normal night. So now it's just like you guys are alone, and there's no pressing matter necessarily.
Characters have a lot on their minds.
Well,
Yeah,
it was quite
quiet
lovely
night.
spending the evening with your lasses. I'm gonna go right to bed.
Good night.
Sounds like you. We'll be down here.
The night.
Brutal kind of makes her a face, like, sounds like you, like, what, do you guys not sleep? Like, of course I need my beauty sleep. What are we talking about? She just goes to bed.
More
She
just
doesn't steal
insinuating
Valerie's
the
room that
fact
time.
she falls asleep like a rock and just never comes back to life.
I suppose at some point or another, either Valerie or Azreen are both at the same time depart for bed, and the night passes uneventfully. You guys sleep pretty well, considering there's a chainsaw next door, and eventually the dawn comes. I don't think Gareth got a very good sleep, unfortunately. I'm not going to roll exhaustion against him or something like that. I just mean from the narrative standpoint. You wake up.
Valerie's a dumbass, and she fell asleep on the couch.
Valerie's, you
Aw.
wake up. Gareth wakes up and walks out into the living room, and you just see Valerie face down, hat on her back, on the back of her head, on the sofa, and a whetstone and a rapier just on the ground, waiting for a tripping hazard, really.
Yeah, it's like pointed up slightly to where it's like you could literally like kick it and stab yourself because she.
Yeah, no,
was not-
Gareth kind of walks over and just looks at kind of the mess.
Her name
And,
is
uh,
Valerie.
the mess, and kind of just quietly grabs the rapier and the whetstone and sheaths it and then kind of puts it on the table next to her.
All right. One by one, the rest of you all wake up. You have breakfast. No, once again, nobody has to mark down any like ration or anything because you're eating for relative freeness at the CL residence. And I won't linger too long because we've already had this conversation. Unless you guys had something to do in the morning, quote unquote. I say you guys just get ready, you get dressed, wash your faces. You have access to relatively nice, clean, fresh water here. This is a nice upscale part of town. You have a pump right there in the kitchen.
I want to roll investigation on the water.
Okay, yeah, roll investigation on the water. Brookhill wakes up and is like,
I mean, yeah.
time to get some, and she kind of cranks and goes, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Is 17 your investigation, or is that previous roll? 22 investigation. You crank it out really slowly, like,
Wait, was that? No, yeah, that was the previous one.
yeah, with a 22 you spray it, and it's just water. Yeah, regular, clean, fresh water comes out. Well, as clean as it is for a medieval society. This is sourced from the lake, so it's still untreated groundwater, but also you don't live in a society that dumps nitrates and phosphates into the ground, so it's probably good. There's no black inkiness that comes out or anything like that.
As long as I can't set my tap water on fire, I'ma drink it.
And you drink it and you die.
Washes her face and.
It is like it's cold. It's brisk. It's not quite it's not a servant waking up and putting some hot coals underneath the cauldron for you every morning.
No, it's
just
And
not
you
the
can
same.
do it yourself.
Valerie is like this pseudo like mundane peasantry where it's like but in our family we have the nice clean treated water from our easily acquired water, and you have to put it on the coals yourself, and it's like somewhere else in the city is like, oh good, water today.
Like all the tools for your stupid royal life are in Valerie's house. You just have to do it yourself.
You have to assemble it.
that defeats the entire purpose.
What's the point? But yeah, you guys wake up, you get your armor together, you put everything on one piece at a time, and get your chakrams in their proper place. You load up your bags, and get ready to leave. I guess it's early in the morning, and Idris and Helena are also up. They have to kind of get the shop ready. They have to open before everyone else is ready to go, essentially. So they're also awake and having breakfast and tea. Valerie, do you have anything to say with anybody?
Indeed. So Valerie is just she's hooking her rapier by her side at this point. Well, I said I was going to be leaving soon, so yeah.
Oh,
it's that time.
This is it.
Well, don't say it like I'm not coming back. It's just
She looks at you
I don't
incredulous.
know when I'll be back.
Okay, well, just make sure you write this time. And she actually goes over to the kitchen and gets a few stacks of paper out, and she hands you 100 sheets of plain paper. This isn't the kind of nice paper that could make a scroll or anything, or is used for like transposing spells. But it's just basic paper and a jar of ink and a quill as well. Please.
Valerie smiles at the papers.
Looks like she doesn't trust you to keep in touch.
Well, little does she know, this makes 200 papers. She puts it in her bag.
The irony. But yeah, that's 200 pieces of paper then, and she gives you the quill and gives you a strong bear hug, as tight as she can, essentially. He just does a similar.
She's like, Val is hugging Helena with one arm, like motioning Adris to come over.
He just kind of like
He's being
shuffles over and gets into the pile as well and is embraced. The three of you unembrace at one point or another, and you are she bids you adieu, and she expects you to write, and she expects you to be more in contact this time, but she comfortably lets you go, and says her goodbyes and begins to go and make the rest of the preparations for opening the jewelry shop in the morning.
Valerie tips her hat to them both, and she leaves.
All right.
Grukil turns to Azarine and comments, "That's almost touching."
It kind of reminds me of when I left.
And she's got like a smile.
Grukil thinks for half a second, and then she's not smiling. She's not smiling.
Brookill thinks for a second, thinks for too long. Yeah, Brookill.
I gotta be right back really quickly.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Sorry, what?
Nah, don't worry about it. Go, be free.
Also, Azreen is probably wearing one of the most simplest outfits that you've probably ever seen her wear.
Oh, right, you have like an entertainer's pack, right? So you have like, you do actually have like 3 or 4 outfits to your name.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not, Val and Azarine are in their normal clothes now. They're not in civilian attire now.
I'm all about it.
Yeah,
Do
she's
you
got
wanna-
like this. She's got like this white, like halter dress, but there's no back.
I'm all about it. Valerie, this is
I have a picture.
oh, it's coming. Valerie, before we leave, actually, just reminded me, this is kind of a unique opportunity just for you. Did you want to take an extra pair of clothing before you leave?
I will take an extra pair of clothing before
Okay.
I leave.
You have the option of taking a plain set of clothes, a performer's set of clothes, and I don't want to say a noble's set of clothes, but like, you know, noble-ish clothing befitting of your family's rank that perhaps maybe your mother wore at one point or another, or maybe a old set of clothes of your own. But you can take one of those if you'd like. I guess in theory you could take all of them. I just gonna, you know, I warn you against over-encumbering yourself.
The quote-unquote noble set of clothing was honestly what she was wearing before when she was disguising herself, so I guess she'll just take that because her family line stuff, sentimental things. She might need it down the line, too.
You're sorry.
Sure. I don't remember what clothes what way, but I'll get back to you on that as soon as I can. But you take the extra set of clothes.
I will encumber myself when the time comes.
Oh, so the different kinds of clothes. There's fine clothes, common, costume, and travelers. You take the fine clothes. That weighs 6 pounds.
Wow, that's pretty heavy, whatever it is.
Well,
I haven't drawn it yet.
It includes like precious metals and gems, like part of the belt, like you belts, a leather pouch for like carrying.
Oh yeah, lore-wise, this actually fits perfectly. There's metal all over it.
Yeah, it's like fancily embroidered, and it's like that, you know, extra thread that is creating an embroidered pattern, like basically it does increase the weight because it's more thread and more fabric that's just being sewn in there. It's fancy tailored clothes, whatever fashion the style and the courts of this area are, and it has some, you know, a few precious metals and gems that are worked into the clothing alongside the embroidery, and like a nice thick leather belt that's supposed to go around the waist and you'd hang a pouch from, or maybe a dagger, you know, just for fashion's sake. But it's, you know, it's part of the clothing. It's part of the kit and caboodle. Whoop, that's the sound of me getting a message from something.
I return.
That's fine. You get back and you are free to explore the city to your liking. Obviously, Colonel Copperbell is expecting you guys early in the beginning of the morning. Valerie, gonna go and buy a new dagger?
Do I need a dagger?
It's up to you. Just wanted to
I don't think
casually
I
remind
need my
you.
dagger.
Oh, that's fine. Do you guys depart towards Colonel Copperbell's office, or is there something else in mind?
Yes. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
no.
what Gareth wants to do.
Let's not be rude.
All right, you go down the city streets. You left a little bit early, so you could, you know, do the walk there. It's gonna take you like 20 minutes or so to get across the city. You get to the northern gate, which is where you guys came in, and just besides there is the customs office, and across the street is the riverboat car. And inside, you do see a few people that are sleepily kind of scratching their eyes, and there's a person in a blue uniform, and like their hat's kind of just resting on the desk. They're just lazily sipping from their coffee. And you guys knock on the door, and the person stands up. It's the same person that was with Colonel Copperbell that was like taking notes down, who was just like, oh, yeah, I'll write that down. And he comes to the front gate, and he opens it up and unlocks it, and just goes, please state your business.
We have an appointment with the colonel, sir.
He turns around. Colonel, there's people here that are having a meeting with you. Oh, excellent, wonderful, please do the meeting as soon as possible. All right, yes, please come inside and just sit down until he's ready to see you. And he opens the door and lets you guys in. You guys up into this large room. There's several seats. There's lots of these blue upholstery couches to wait in, essentially. And within the minute, there is Colonel Copperbell in his shiny black boots and spurs, and he has a sword at his side and his gun on the other side, and he's wearing his cocked hat. Oh, wait, no, he's not. He's a gentleman. He has it hung up somewhere. It's just his curly blonde hair that's kind of like hanging down to around like his jaw, essentially. And his big mustache and goatee combination. And he approaches each of you, and he shakes all of your hand in turn, and I will expedite the process of this 5-minute hello that he gives you.
I'm so happy you could be here. I'm so it's just a lovely time. We're a bit short on people, so I'm happy to have extra cell swords amongst my midst. And Gareth, I know you are captain. It is okay if you go and do this as part of a side mission or something. I look forward to not working with Inquisitors on this side. Rather, hopefully, it's something that can go through a captain like yourself.
Yes, I need to work on this independently.
Wonderful.
Colonel.
Fantastic. Well, if I can just get your persons to sign this contract of writ, we can get to the business immediately.
And he does hand out a contract that has a long, if you guys fall in the line of battle, the Riverboat Corps is not responsible for. Your next of kin will be notified, and the funds from the mission, if completed, will be sent to. And if you guys want to continue to read legalese, I would invite you to roll investigation. But he's expecting you to sign your names on the bottom. And state your next of kin.
Valerie doesn't read any of it, but she signs it with the last name that does not belong to her.
Okay.
I'm going to help Azarine with the legalese.
Azarine is probably the one who would have the least experience reading legalese. You get help from Brookhill. She kind of comes up and you read it through, and it seems like there's no funny business here. It's just it's like they're asking you to go on a possibly deadly mission. And so it's kind of just informing the Riverboat Corps is not going to take responsibility. They will just make sure you get to the cathedral if they're able to recover your dying bodies. And they're also going to, if you complete the mission, give your money to whoever you sign as your next of kin, whoever you designate here, or they'll give a $100 gold piece, 100 gold pieces to whoever your next of kin is, if you were to just die, without completing the mission. So a lucrative way to get money from the Riverboat Corps would be to sign up for a mission, die, and then they'll give 100 gold pieces for free to your next of kin, just to make sure that they're okay. I guess another character building question is, do you guys sign a next of kin?
Give me a moment.
Who gets your share if you don't make it back, or who gets the $100 pension if you barely get out the door? You don't have to. I mean, it's just an optional thing. It's
a team party thing. I'll assign it to Azarine.
Oh, that's so cute.
Aww.
Now Azarine has a reason to off you.
Azarine just stares at the next of kin line, and she's like, "How are you going to track down my dad?"
Oh, we'll do everything.
Don't worry about it.
We'll do our best, but if we are unable to locate them within a certain set period of time after expending a certain amount of workman hours, then I'm afraid that we will just keep the funds for later adventurers. Not to be grim, I'm sure you'll do just fine.
I know. I'm just curious. My dad moves around a lot, and she signs down.
Dad.
Dad.
D-A-D.
Yeah.
No. Alaric Talori.
Alaric Talori, okay. Colonel Copperbell takes out some silver-rimmed glasses and kind of looks down at each of you. Gareth, you're taking a minute to think. Brookhild, what do you do?
Brookhild signs her own name and lists her next of kin as
Ruiz Valruiz.
Bastard.
I mean,
I would
she
end you
could-
right then and there.
She could do it for the laws, it's like, hey, you helped us, but then again, it would notify him of their failure, which is bad. She signs Helena, actually.
Interesting.
Helena.
Hopefully you guys don't die, so this really is just the DM kind of giving you guys an opportunity to,
She
expand.
hosted us. She
Interesting.
didn't charge us for us to live in her house. Her house was very nice. She fed us.
So, alright, so Gareth's staring at this, and he already signed his actual name, by the way.
Of course.
And he begins to write O-T-T, and then he stops for a moment. He stops.
Mm-hmm.
And he crosses that out, and writes and he writes
You want the quill?
Yeah, with the quill. He writes Celicus Morgan.
Okay. Interesting. The Colonel Copperville takes the contract back, which is for 1,000 gold pieces for the removal of the quote-unquote hag problem in the location of Fogwood Falls. And with that, the instance unlocks. You've unlocked the dungeon instance of Fogwood Falls.
Yeah.
And he looks it over with his you guys got silver spectacles on. He goes, "Oh, excellent, fantastic!" And he tucks it away and seals it with a letter, a stamp that he heats up over the candle nearby, and he pops it down there, a little red wax, his seal, the riverboat core seal, and deposits it in one of the letter boxes nearby, presumably awaiting someone else to do some more bureaucracy later down the line. "Please come into my office." And all four of you do, because you're magically compulsed by Colonel Copperbell. And you all take a seat. Well, two of you take a seat, and the other two stand. I'll let you guys work it amongst yourselves in the chat. Who's who? All right.
I'm sitting.
All right, Brookhill sits.
Sits decadently like a Skyrim Jarl.
Resting on the one side. Foot hooked up over one of the fucking armrests. "Now, if you'll be so kind as to look at this map, please." And he opens up a large map on the side. There's a big chart, and it just shows Kirith in the local area. Across the river to the south, over the bridge, is a bit of a problem we're having with we've always had issues with local fae-like creatures that are a little bit indignant of our local laws. And you see, the biggest culprits are these a hag or two. We think that it's two. And they are quite a bit of mess of things. They've you see, hags have an interesting way of reproducing. They steal children, babies, both in the cradle and in the womb.
How do you...
Brookhill furrows her eyebrows like...
Nefarious,
What?
dark magics. Indeed, it is a terrible thing. Besides that, they've been raiding encampments and bandits. They've been what's the word? They've been making sacrificial rites of our donkeys and horses. It's been quite terrible, really. A few men have already been sent to the woods, and they have not yet returned. I feel the worst for them. Part of your contract involves trying to find and locate the possible remains of these individuals, or if possible, bring them back home after also taking care of these hags. And hopefully you know what I mean. And he drags a gloved hand across his neck from left to right.
Don't worry about it, Colonel. There was no hesitation about the methods to be employed to rid yourself of these strange hags.
Fantastic! I should also warn that we've had sightings of goblins in the wood as well. We don't think that they are minions of the hags, but they are another enemy that you should be very careful of. Any questions so far?
Brookhill looks at the other party members.
I have none.
Garrus is ready to get to work.
Fantastic! I love you for already. Now, one more thing. There is an old here, let me mark on the map what we think that they are. And he puts a big red X on the map and hands it over to you. It is a very loose map. It's very clearly drawn by hand. Someone very skilled in drawing maps, but not necessarily a professional. If you pass by an old mill, then you're going the correct way.
Thank you, Colonel. We're going to be on our way now.
Farewell. Gods be with you.
All right.
Oh, if you're not back in 24 hours, then we'll consider your mission failed and we'll send people to go and try and rescue you.
Can we get a little bit of longer of a...
If you'd like, it just means longer before we send rescue. 36? 48?
I was thinking more of 2 days.
2 days, 48
2
hours.
days.
He writes that down.
Valerie kind of snickers at her, like, you actually expect we're gonna live that long?
I like to be optimistic.
Aye, don't be grim. Why, it's just hugs. Oh, sure, they steal and eat babies. What's a baby gonna do, eh? We're not babies. We have swords and stuff.
Well, if you assume the worst doesn't happen.
Never
Should we
heard that
keep it
one
at-
before.
Should we keep it at 24 hours?
Don't worry about it. We'll be fine.
All right. You guys depart. You guys go to where the mission starts, quote unquote. I
Yeah.
assume. Yeah, you guys depart the room. You leave out into the wilds. You head out to the east side of the city and cross
You
over.
go to the instance portal.
You go to the instance portal, which is a bridge to the far east. You actually leave the city on the east side, over here, after going over a couple of very large, very sturdy bridges. And you get to what amounts to as woods, and it's a very well-traveled path. In fact, some of it's even cobblestone, and there's plenty of people walking back and forth across it. And once you go far enough to the east as to be off this map, you see a large and long wooden bridge that spans presumably the entire river southward. And on the other
That's
side is
immense.
the beginning of your journey.
Do you cross this bridge?
Yes.
Passing by several fishermen that are out for the day with their bobbers in the water, waiting for a bit of a bite, if you will. You just see some rowboats going underneath, small ferry here or there. This is a tall bridge. It's very clear this is one of the narrower parts, and it goes to a small island in the middle of the river that is just in the dead center of it. And you see that the second bridge is actually a drawbridge that is hoisted up as a larger vessel passes through. And you wait for it to pass before the drawbridge comes back down again. It takes several minutes. This is basically just hand crank and winches, that's block and tackle being used to lift up the bridge, essentially. And once it descends back down and locks into place, you guys pass alongside several other people who are on horse and buggy along with you. And then you go into the southern forests. I'm going to move us back to a bigger map real quick, kind of get a better heading on where we are. Oh, you guys are there, but I'm not. Kirith is here, on the other side of the river. So you're now in these woods over here. Boop, 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 boop.
All right.
And it's at that point you guys get to a point where you see a few. Well, now this is where the skills start to come out here. You guys approach the side of the road where you see that this is not well traveled. It is a side path. It is the Idux Way. It is a trail that goes through the wood that has not really been traveled in a long while. It technically goes all the way to Windthrow, but the Windthrow Keep proper, but nobody really goes there much anymore. Not a lot of trade here or there. At least not along this trail. Would everybody just roll a basic perception for me, and also tell me what your marching order is?
Gareth's in the front.
Gareth in the front.
Middle.
Drazrine's in one of the middle spots.
I'm in the back, and once again, everything's fine.
Everything's fine in the back. Gareth, if you can roll a survival check for me, because you're in the front. And Valerie, we're going to use that perception because she's in the back. Valerie, everything's fine. Everything's great. It's early in the morning. Birds are chirping. Well, that's actually a little bit odd. Birds are not chirping. There's no sounds of wildlife at all, actually, Valerie. With a 15 survival, Gareth, you bend down and see that there is a cart that has been maneuvered off to the side of the road, but you no longer see the cart. In fact, as you approach the side of the path, you see where the ruts of 2 large wagon wheels would have been and a few ploddings of a horse, but you find neither. Instead, all you see is a dark bramble patch leading into dense forest.
So, what are we looking for? Old ladies?
Do you want to roll a either a nature or a history check for me, Brookild?
I'm going to roll history, because it's better than my nature.
I'm all about it.
Apparently, my mother was a
Your mother was a hag, actually,
was
which
a hag.
explains everything.
Oh.
Ooh,
Ouch.
burn. Let's see.
I
Let me
opened
get
the door.
that book. Oh, I dropped my pen. All right, we're good. Yep. Let's see here. You're looking for hags, which are like they're born in theory. They look like normal people up until around the age of 13, and then their pubescence is like turning into an old woman. And they're just disgusting. Like their skins like dark, richly like green. It looks like moss, and they on purposely, or so it's said, they like scratch at wounds in their own flesh to like make it on purposely like blemish and boil and bleed and weep. Like they revel in like that kind of audacity, that kind of strange foul desire. And in theory, they're a fae. They're a type of fae. In practice, most fae disagree with that, but in theory, they're a fae. They are like a fairy-like creature in a way. They're inherently very magical, and in the most recent times, Inquisitors have pretty much like burned every coven that they can find. They've been hung, they've been executed, they've been chased to the farthest corners. You're probably not too familiar beyond that, however, unless you had a specific question that I might be able to answer. But the Inquisition has kind of turned the treacherous woods and like that city folk rumor of like, on the edge of town is a hag and they'll steal away your children. It's like, if that were true, then the Inquisition fucking took care of them. But here's one final one. Oh god, they're ugly. They're very ugly. They're very horribly ugly. They don't love themselves, and that's what makes them ugly.
Don't love yourself. Who's gonna love you, Chief?
So we're looking for like ugly. We're looking for ugly green grandmas.
Mm-hmm. You're looking for ugly green grandmas, and Copperbill said that there's probably 2.
All right.
But you should be braced for a spellcaster. You balls in your court, guys. Do you go into the woods, or do you have some kind of extra plan that I don't know about?
I suppose we just go right in.
Yeah, I don't have a tactical plan besides whatever tactics I come up with when I'm about to die.
Yeah, my plan is not get killed.
All
I
right.
think that's the general consensus.
Gareth is going to continue to lead the way, I presume. Gareth, please roll another survival check.
All right, you got it, boss.
Their beautiful Lalafell tank.
I hate it.
Excuse me?
Don't you say those words ever again.
I'll kill you.
I'll let him.
You can be a dark light, it's fine.
You guys press into the woods, and it's immediately dark and oppressive. The canopy above is just a messy network of trees. And nothing really inherently feels very wrong with it until you're in maybe another 100 feet. And you turn around and you're trying to just like keep a track of where you came in, and it kind of becomes difficult. But you could probably find your way back out again. You're leaving tracks as you go, I presume. I don't know how a creature would not leave tracks as they go. But you kind of go deeper into the flying. Oh, that's actually a good point. You guys do have the ability to fly at some point, I think. You guys continue through this maze of trees, kind of just trying to find whatever you can. Gareth, eventually you come across what looks to be like green blood on a leaf, and a few errant tracks that lead deeper into the woods.
So is it just a single like dropping of the blood, or is it trailing off somewhere?
It's a schmear.
Schmear, just a single schmear.
Well, 16 survival. Okay, we'll continue to use that for now. If you look ahead like another 20 feet or so, you see another schmear on another branch that sticks out more into the trail. It's not really much of a trail. It just looks like a place where the bramble is less dense. But it's going somewhere, and you could track it if you'd like to.
Yeah, I'm gonna track it.
Okay, Gareth continues deeper into the woods, and the party follows after, I presume. You guys see Gareth catch a scent of something, and he continues forward. Eventually, Gareth, you kind of like take a step.
But he has that big old nose for something.
Big old nose for something. You hear a splash underneath, as you kind of splash down into what feels just be kind of like very, very swampy water, very marshy water. Your boot kind of sinks into it a little bit. It's not very deep. It's only like a few inches. But you're immediately understanding like, okay, well, I'm in a swamp. And there's just like water kind of all around, and it does make it hard to continue to follow tracks. But Gareth, you're gonna roll another survival check for me just to track this kind of like this blood.
I lost it.
You lost it. No, it's tough. It's like green blood, which means that it's not like fluorescent green like the predator necessarily. It's kind of a similar tone to the chlorophyll in these various plants, and you are having trouble finding this. You kind of gone the right way, and now you guys are just kind of like ankle deep in water. As you're kind of walking around looking deeper into the swamp. At this point, it's like it feels dark. It feels like it's becoming nighttime, but it's just like there's no way. Like it's 8 o'clock in the morning. But the trees are just so dense and black here. But yeah, you have unfortunately you've lost the trail.
Brunhild curses and ties her dress around like her knees, because if it's ankle height for Gareth, it's like knee height for Brunhild.
Well,
she swears in the water, and okay, no, wait, that's not what I thought it was. I misread a spell. No, I can't. I can't just like sniff out magic.
Oh, you have detect magic, right?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to be for like just items.
It is kind of like Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, what are you hoping that it does? I suppose is the question.
Just feeling like, because we can't see any like regular tracks like blood or whatever, but maybe there was a magic track because they're
Okay.
fey and they're very magically.
Well, why don't you roll an Arcana check for me?
All right.
Okay, that's really good. Just outside.
Very used to hags since my family was.
Yeah, because you yourself are a hat. No, you do sense some. You sense some magic nearby though.
There's
So
some
does Valerie
magic-
know?
Are you
Does
sure it's
Valerie
not just
know
me?
what hags sound like?
Why doesn't Valerie roll either Arcana, History, or Nature? You pick.
Okay.
Ezra, what were you
Because
saying?
if I do, I could minor illusion a hag. I don't know, make a noise, screeching, see if any others come around.
Yeah.
Which is my highest.
Yeah, roll one of those. Ezrin, what were you saying though?
You said that she detects magic, and she's like, "Are you sure it's not just me?"
It's definitely not just Ezrin. Valerie, you're not very
I would have
familiar
hoped you
with
smelled
hags
better.
beyond like stories.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you did. Well, I mean, Brookhill detects like some kind of foul magic. Like it does like literally smell bad. Yeah, Brookhill, you could take the lead and like kind of follow this trail for a second if you want to.
Magic with stink lines.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You take the lead and go through the wood a little bit. It takes you off the path that you were originally following, but you can't. That path seems to have gone cold anyway. And you kind of go around a twisted, gnarled tree and walk around the other side of it to find. It's like a fork of three trees, and in the base, in the gnarl where these trees meet, you see a small teepee-like shape of 3 bones with a skull on top. And it has like rags wrapped around it to hold it together. And they're definitely like blood-soaked rags.
I'm not walking up there first. She says as she tries to
It's about 2 feet
twist
tall.
the water out of her.
This totem is about 2 feet tall. And it's
Well,
exuding magic.
Not sure what this does. Can I try to figure out what it does?
Roll Arcana. Roll Arcana unless you have some kind of skill or something. Brookhill is suspiciously good at magic. It is some kind of totem that is it's assisting in some kind of ritual.
That fucking book.
It is emanating some kind of magical energy. It is it seems like some kind of ritualized ceremonial thing. And it's made out of bones
Perhaps we should
and
destroy
blood.
it.
They're certain to come out.
You don't have to tell me twice. And Gareth already starts to unsheath his sword.
All right, is Gareth just gonna go for it?
Yeah.
Roll an attack action with your sword against this totem. Roll damage. The flat of your blade just collides with the top of the skull and smashes it down into the ground, and it shatters into small 1,000 fragmental pieces. And there's like purple smoke that is like that rolls out from underneath your blade, where you smashed down, and begins to kind of dissipate through the air and fade away. And you do kind of hear like a faint whining sound, and the woods become brighter. Like daylight kind of starts to come through the canopy above, and the trees don't look nearly as tall anymore.
Good.
Some sort of fear totem. Darkness.
I just hope we didn't need that to find them.
Nah, they're sure to come after us if we start rummaging through their business.
Yeah, that sounds like a better plan. Let's just break everything they love.
To be fair, they do love horrible, horrible things.
I wasn't joking. Let's break them.
Salty earth, I like it. How about everybody roll a perception check for me?
I'm not good at this today.
Well, listen, these things happen. Brookhild and Valerie, you're kind of like, let's just burn it all, break it all. And as you're kind of, as you're looking around, you actually see like about 30 feet to the north, you see another like a hanging silver medallion hanging off a branch with like feathers off the bottom, like crow feathers hanging off the bottom of it.
Stop playing Dragon's Dogma.
And never.
How are we gonna reach that one? I can just check. Chuck an Eldritch Blast at it.
Roll an Eldritch Blast attack, please. As you approach. Okay. What's the
Sniped.
range? Are you sniping? You're sniping it from like 100 feet away? Yeah, why
It's
not?
120 feet range.
So Brookill turns around and gains distance. Roll damage, please.
Wow.
Okay. You hit it, it explodes into 1,000 tiny pieces. The ground underneath
One
it sinks
force
as a pitfall trap releases, and the you may continue.
Huh.
About a 10-foot wide hole appears in the ground directly beneath the talisman. From this distance, you can't see into the hole, but that's what happens. Netting
Wait a
and
minute,
leaves
if
gonna
we-
fall away.
If we triggered this trap, wouldn't whoever set the trap be coming to see what fell in it?
Oh, isn't that the point?
I'd
supposed
wait
to kill
around
them.
and see if anyone comes by.
So the trap. Describe the trap to me again. Sorry.
It is a 10-foot diameter pitfall trap.
Yeah. Is there any trees around?
Oh, there's many trees around.
I'm cutting one tree down. I'm just basically trying to aim it so it just falls right into the pit.
You want to fell a tree right into the pit?
Yeah.
What tool are you going to use to chop a tree down?
My fucking sword.
Well, swords aren't really built for that, but I'll let you try.
You can ask
Why
me
is
for
our
my
group
axe.
being like? Why is our group being like prime chaotic right now?
I'm fine with it.
I'm going through some rough times. All right, don't talk to me.
He's taking it
I'm
out
gonna
on the tree.
fucking drop a tree in it. Why? Because I'm mad.
Yeah, you could fell.
Yeah.
You can attempt
can-
to fell tree.
You can just ask me for my axe. I have one. It's an axe.
Is it big?
An axe
It's the
would
hand
serve
axe.
you better than it's just the mass. It's just the mass.
Fine.
Like a thin blade is it's just the mass. Yeah, you.
I
want-
mean, it's first of all, it's not a thin blade because it's a fucking claymore. Like
it's you know what I mean.
it's still
You want-
pretty thick.
Valerie
You
is
want
just
the
looking
axe.
at this guy, thinking to herself, "Is this man seriously chopping a tree down with a fucking Zweihander?"
It's like watching people in Minecraft like chop trees with a shovel or whatever. It's like it's upsetting.
I feel called
Yeah,
out. I feel
but
called
he'll-
out right now.
Walks over and
Hands
sort
me
of-
the axes.
like half-heartedly hands him an axe because you look stupid right now.
I mean, I haven't started chopping yet.
He just looks like George Costanza with a baseball bat. Like
Yo,
he's just winding up. But no, you take the axe, and if you want to roll an athletics for me, I'll see if you can chop down this tree in a proper way to aim it towards the pit.
Well, I was actually a bad roll.
Well, I mean, a 12, it'll take you some time. I'll let you decide. You eye it up, and you're like, it might take me about 5 minutes to cut this tree down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's up to you.
I
if
still
you want
don't
to
know why
do
we're
this.
doing this.
Why
I'm-
don't we just
I
put
mean-
Gareth in the hole?
I'm not sure what we're doing this for either, but I feel like Gareth has something as a plan.
Okay. I had a idea.
Oh, what's your idea, Azreen?
What if we lured out the hags? Because I'm assuming that they're in this hole.
Nobody has
No, I
approached the
think
hole
we
yet
were
to
supposed
examine.
to fall in the
Yeah.
hole.
Oh. Well, is there any way that I can find like an entrance to their like hovel?
You have not yet found one.
want-
Copperbell warned you that if you find an old mill, then you're on the right track, and you have yet to find an old mill. So they're probably
I
not
tell you, there's
nearby
something
yet.
waiting to ambush.
You
There's something
hear
waiting
the
to ambush.
the tree start to fall.
Oh, okay. A tree starts to fall in the woods.
If there's something waiting to ambush us, they definitely saw the giant ass tree falling.
This tree falls down.
What
and
I
it
was
smashes
going
into the
to
side of the
do-
pitfall trap, and you hear
I was-
something croak and scream for a couple of seconds, and then there's nothing.
Maybe we should look in the hole.
Did you just kill a hag by chopping a tree down?
Won't it be the first time? Anyways,
What? That makes no sense. Give me my axe back.
Why do you kill people by chopping trees down?
He'll pause at him to get her axe back.
he answered the axe.
Anyway, what I was going to say was, what if we make a sound that sounds like a small child crying and lure the hags out? But I guess we've fell a tree.
Does anybody want to look in the hole?
Yeah, I'll look down the hole.
I looked
I'll see
down
what
the hole,
damage is.
too.
Sure, the two of you, maybe, I think all four of you, but like approach the hole and look down, and about like between 5 and 10 feet down, maybe like 6, 7 feet, is what appears to be a large salamander-like lizard. It looks like a Komodo dragon, with very sharp teeth, that is impaled on a branch that has just skewered through its back and pinned it to the ground by this fallen tree.
Well, it's definitely not a hag.
We need to find a windmill anyway, so I think we should continue our search there.
Would Gareth roll another perception check for me with advantage?
Got it, boss.
Now that the sun's come out?
18.
Okay, with an 18, you see that trail of green blood again. Now that it's much brighter in here, and there's no longer this oppressive feeling, this force of darkness that's just overbearing in these woods.
All right. Well, I believe we have found our trail once again, and Garrett just kind of reshoulders the great sword and just starts walking, following the blood.
Okay. Does everyone follow suit?
I want to peek in the hole.
You
Yes,
peek in the
sir.
hole and see a salamander skewered to the ground by a gigantic tree that has fallen upon it. A branch skewered through its back.
Huh. All right.
It's a big thing. It's like a Komodo dragon in size. It's like a 7-foot-long lizard and lots of teeth. And it's just sort of like.
Don't really think it would have harmed us either way, but onwards.
That's not what we were looking for, so I'm just gonna keep following the big boy.
Wait, was that thing the trap? You just fall in there and it eats you?
It's a good trap.
Maybe it fell in the trap.
Oh, maybe.
It fell in it and it ate itself.
Maybe there's two in there at one point. Yeah, you look inside and you see the baby that's skewered on the tree now, thanks to Gareth. You continue through the woods. It's another 10, 15 minutes before you, Valerie rolls perception check for me again. We're in a new location and a fresh marching order. I stopped myself from describing the situations you're in before actually asking for rolls. Okay, yeah,
I
Valerie.
finally know my own name.
You finally remember what your name is. You wrote it on the bottom of your shoe just in case this ever happened. And thankfully you remembered and looked at it. Oh, thank God. And you continue northward through the woods, and eventually you get everyone to stop for a second because you hear something. You hear something that sounds like rattles, like rattle, like some kind of chime, some kind of like. It sounds familiar to you. It sounds like some kind of chime made of bones, like bone rattles, like wood on bone rattling back and forth. And you hear like squeaking sounds, like yips and yaps of some kind of like small creatures, and splishing and splashing up ahead as well.
I hear a bunch of trinkets.
Trinkets?
You know, like wind chimes, but made out of things a wind chime is normally not made out of, and rattles.
Brewhill shrugs and
Like plastic or watermelon.
Precisely.
what are we doing?
I'd say the direction of that noise should lead us to a slightly closer goal.
Yeah,
Is
sure.
that the way that the blood is going, or?
Yes, it is.
Uh-oh.
Alright, then we continue forward, but with caution.
Does caution mean we are going to attempt to hide from any creatures that might see us?
Gareth's not.
Yes.
Actually, I'm I'm gonna
Yeah.
try at least.
Is Gareth going to distance himself from the rest of the party or stay behind so as to not
Well, I mean,
possibly
he's
risk?
keeping pace. So if they're stealthing, then like the pace is naturally going to widen.
Okay, I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Gareth goes up ahead.
Stealthy.
Alright, stealthing.
I'm not very stealthy. Not
Neither.
very
I know.
You know,
Wow, all
that's
of
fine.
you suck.
Gareth is like plod behind you. So you're like, oh shit, oh fuck, oh oh god, my hand axe. Oh god, it fell on my toe. You just hear all kinds
Every bit of iron fell off of my hat, and
it's just smashing against my earrings and my sword. It's just making so much sounds.
My bangles are making too many clacking noises.
Gareth and the rest of the party, with their stealth modifier, you approach you start feeling like you're going downhill. And this water that you have been walking through is like much clearer now, by the way, and doesn't feel sticky. It feels like you're just kind of walking through a very wide, very shallow creek, and the water is beginning to coalesce and start flowing forward, and it's flowing downhill and starting to hit a point where it drops off. It's like a 5-foot drop off, a short waterfall where it's splashing down against some, more water and like some very rounded stone. And you see up ahead with this passive perception, and they probably see you too, unless you're going to try and roll stealth. But I don't think you're going to, because I
tried, quote unquote.
Yeah, it's you see up ahead what appears to be several root spirits, goblins, if you will, that are just surrounding and jumping on top of this like very ornately painted rock. It's this large, tall rock that is like covered in like decoration and not embroidery, but like embezzlement and like carvings and stuff like that. And it looks like there's maybe like 5 or 6 goblins. And one of them is rather large, big frame for a goblin, carrying a spear. And he has a distinctive red cap.
No.
Yes!
Roll initiative.
No. No.
Just Gareth alone.
Oh.
Because you want to know what, everybody?
What?
Goblins rolled 2 on their perception check. Valerie's like, oh fuck, oh god, the iron, everything in the world. Yeah, they don't. They
that
do
is
not notice.
that is literally some Metal Gear Solid shit. The guard literally sees you run behind a wall, and he's like, huh?
Yeah, he literally did not see anybody. If everyone could just drag their icon out onto the field somewhere, and then I will locate where they should be. Wherever you want to put it, just try to get them all together. Yeah, there you go. Just get everybody in a tight circle real quick.
Why is it not working? No.
Remember to click your character sheet and drag it out. All right, Gareth, let's get you. Yeah, you're up ahead. Let's get the distance. That seems pretty good to me. Blue killed and that's hot. That was a good location. I'm all about it. Let me get some goblins out on the field. You guys chat amongst yourselves for a second.
I'm going to kill Red Cap. I'm going to kill Red Cap in one turn.
Bogart. Bogart Red Cap is my favorite character, except the Kenku Merchant.
Kenku Merchant is best merchant.
I love Bogart Red Cap.
And the Red Cap just becomes the next goblin.
Of course. I mean, they're goblins. They don't know any different. It's like, no, Bogart Red Cap wears a red caps if you wear a red cap. You're Bogart Red Cap.
You are Bogart Red Cap if you were. Let's see here. Oh, there's also one more thing that Gareth sees. One of the goblins is riding a large furry creature.
A large
like
furry?
Like an owlbear?
Bugbear?
Like a warg.
Oh, wonderful.
A what?
Like a large mixture between a tiger and a wolf, like a hyena. Let's see here. Gareth is going to be the only one who rolls initiative right now. Gare Bear. There we go. Where are my dice?
Can Gareth take on 8 goblins by himself? Or 6 goblins by himself?
I mean, that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, I should
He is Gareth, Slayer of Red Cap Durand.
Oh, God.
The Goblin Render.
The
Slayer.
Goblin Slayer.
Oh, no, copywritten.
No.
Wait, is it?
Isn't there an anime?
Yes, and it's not a good anime.
Oh.
I watched all of it with my friend, and we laughed all the way through. And if I wasn't watching it with a friend, I would have dropped it at the first episode.
Good review. Thanks for that glowing review. But hey, I respect that. I don't really watch as much anime as I wish I did, unfortunately. The goblins are so bad.
They're so bad.
Don't worry. Hey,
They're goblins.
Just mark down which one is red cat for me.
It's the one with
These
the red
might as
icon.
well be goblin.
Which one is it?
It's
the
the one with
that's
the red
different
cap.
from all the others.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's the one
see.
with the red
Alright,
on it.
I'm just gonna zoom in real quick. Let me
There you
just.
go. Let's see. 1 second. Orange is down.
God damn, that's far actually.
Well, you know, your visual line is very like you can see far. So I mean, like you see them
I
before they're
guess.
really in combat with them necessarily. It doesn't seem like they see you yet. It seems like they will like you have made no attempt to obscure yourself. So they're going to see you
No.
at the beginning of their next turn. It's just good for you. Literally every single goblin goes after you.
Yeah, cool.
Did everyone
hold
else
on,
roll? Everyone else should probably roll initiative as well because we're moving in initiative time, even though you guys aren't technically fighting it and they don't know you guys are there. But if I can get an initiative count for Brughild, all right, that's more reasonable. Bruh. Oh my God. Okay, well, Azreen is technically gonna move before Gareth, but she's gonna maintain her stealth, I assume.
I'm gonna hold my action.
Yeah, that's fine. You can hold an action. Let's see. Green, and then Valerie, and then blue. Okay, that's everyone. Okay.
Yeah, I will forfeit my turn.
Well, hold your action.
Or-
Hold your action.
yeah.
What is your
I'll hold
action?
my action.
I want to what's your action? Like, is your action to move, or is it going to be like, oh, I attack the nearest goblin if Gareth gets attacked or something, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna run and attack the nearest goblin.
I mean, you don't have. I mean, unless if I get like hurt, which I don't think they can actually hurt me.
Yeah. If
I'm
Gareth
just-
gets hurt, I'm going to attack the nearest goblin.
Okay. To you or to Gareth?
To me.
Oh damn, these root spirits are kind of actually all right. Here we go. It is Azreen's turn. She holds her action. She's ducking down in the woods, like kind of seeing Gareth go, and she pulls out her 2 chakrams in her hands and gets ready to throw one of them in case something happens to Gareth.
Oh, let me open my big old fucking book real quick.
What's your big old fucking books? Does it hold all your secrets? Is
Yeah.
that the Battle Master book where it's like it's 15 maneuvers and it's your 18-second wins? And, it is your turn though, Gareth. It is your
Alright,
turn.
well,
Gareth.
I'm going up. Unfortunately, I can't reach red cap.
Well,
first.
unless you dash,
Yeah, but
then you're just there
yeah.
for next turn, waiting.
I'm
So-
thinking.
Oops, missed your character.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you doing there? What was that?
Move right up to that blue one.
All right, pop yourself right on up there, man.
I got you.
You're the master of your own destiny.
Oh, fuck.
If anybody has like multi-attack or like does a billion things on their turn, I expect them to add up their own damage and then tell me the
Yeah,
total at the end. Just let everyone know ahead of time.
No problem.
You approach blue. You just come storming across the water. You jump down the waterfall, which is only 5 feet. It doesn't have any bearing on your movement. You just jump down and unsheath your weapon and just start sprinting across the water. And like the blue one turns around and just goes, "What?" And then something horrible happens.
And this
to him.
happens.
Yeah, and he just looks up to see the sun blotted out.
Yeah.
And then
Terrifying.
the shadow moves, and then he is no more.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then I am
The goblin is just
action
clamped right
surge.
across. He falls
Action
down.
surge.
He still seems like he's kind of alive, like he's effectively dead. But for the sake of story, it's like he's just so like his heart's still beating. His heart doesn't realize he's dead yet.
Yeah. And so action surge, and I'm just gonna, hello.
Does action surge let you move as well?
I think so.
All
It
out.
does.
If it lets you move, then yeah, you're here.
Let me.
It's just you've
look
used
it
your.
up.
Are you sure you want to use your action surge? Because these guys are not hags. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, there's looking cool and there's like wasting cool shit.
True.
Yeah.
True. I guess.
Like you can one shot them.
Yes.
Don't like.
Yeah. I'll just kind of stand over
You're
it,
one down in that, but you're good. You're good.
just like nonchalantly, like.
Sure. You just
Like
cleave this goblin.
Gareth, like isn't even like exerting himself. Like he seems like he's working on an autopilot right now
I
because he hasn't been talking much to the rest of the party. He is kind of off in his own place right now.
Sure.
Seem, if I bet if Brughild had some form of worry, like she would be like, this doesn't seem right.
I don't know what worry is. I don't know what empathy means.
Yeah.
Empathy.
Anyways,
It's okay. You have another party member who is very concerned.
The blue one
takes their turn. He literally is like he's just kind of like holding like this. He's just holding this gash like that's just in his chest. He's just like just butt down in the water, just kind of like as he's like breathing his last breath essentially. And then it's the green one's turn, and the green one just like takes out a short bow and just fires it at Gareth.
Yeah, okay.
First number, please. Pretty sure that hits? Question mark.
I only see damage. I
only
see
see
the number.
damage.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. It was a 19. That's I'm having issues where it's like the rolls just like don't appear. Here, I can show you a Giazio. I'll
That's
paste it
not
into the
necessary.
chat.
If it's 19, then it's a 19
Okay.
that hits.
That's so strange.
4
okay.
damage.
Yeah, 4 damage.
Cool.
Oof. All right, that's fine. I really don't like it when the rules don't show up though, because like that's the fun part. That's why we use Roll20. All right. Blue turn's done. Green turn's done. It's Valerie's turn now. Valerie, you just see as one goblin is just like, and the other one like they very clearly are like aware of the situation at this point. The red cap is turning around. This red cap looks like big and strong. Like this red cap looks like it's maybe like 5'4", which is like by
It's
goblin
fine.
standards huge.
That's taller than me.
Really?
It's taller than me.
Brookfield. Actually, no, it is actually taller than me.
It's also taller than Azarine, if it makes you feel any better.
Currently, Valerie, you are
A
hidden.
little bit.
Current, I'm going to say out of character. Like, unless if Gareth gets hurt, like, he doesn't, like, he needs this.
I'd have to move out of hiding if I want to do anything.
I'll let you attack from hiding with advantage, just so you don't get any special damage boost like a rogue would necessarily. That's all I mean by mentioning that.
But that means you would also come out of hiding.
Yeah, once you make your first attack, they're like, oh, they're here!
I'm going to move up here.
Here, let me draw the line of where the river begins, I suppose, is where like this pool of water just below the cliffside. You're right there. It's like water is pouring. You guys have been following a creek that goes here.
But this thing isn't more than ankle deep, right?
Oh,
Like-
no. Yeah, no more than ankle deep.
Oh, okay.
For you.
For normal people. So for him, it's like it barely wets your toenails.
Yeah.
The soles of your boots are barely wet.
I'm drowning.
When I say like ankle deep and knee deep, I mean like an average person, like not a Gareth unit. So if you enter right now, you are in like tall brush that is along this upper area that's just before the drop down into this shallow pool below. That looks like this looks like a basin where like water is collecting from multiple points throughout this forest into here. You see like another waterfall off to the left and off to the north. There's like water pouring in as well, and you know.
So I'm just going to take a shot at Green
Alright.
Boy with the crossbow.
Oh shit! You have a crossbow now. I forgot. Yeah, roll with advantage.
Does a 12 hit him?
The blue-green one?
Yeah, the green one.
I'm afraid not. It embeds itself right in the side of the goblin's like he has his own crossbow drawn, or rather a short bow drawn, and he's like training on Gareth, and then like thunk, like this arrow just blindsides him right in the side, like against the leather armor that it's wearing. He just like falls over into the water and just goes, who did that? Who did that? It does not penetrate and cause damage, however.
But he is seen now, right?
Yeah, in theory, I'm gonna let him roll another perception check to see if he sees you or not. Is kind of how this is gonna go. They passive perception is okay, but what's their like? I want to roll perception. It's the first number.
That's wisdom.
What was your
You just roll
but
straight wisdom.
I got a 5.
monsters don't have they don't have skills. Like they don't have like proficiencies in skills, so like their wisdom is there. Whatever it is. And I believe Valerie's stealth from earlier is just a 5. So yeah, it sees your red cap moving through there and just goes, another red cap! Oh, a contender! And you are drawn into the fight. You are noticed.
I'm not their queen, excuse me.
It is Bluekild's turn.
After sighing dejectedly about seeing Gareth act like an idiot again, she happily, like, nonchalantly walks her way up to the little drop, and I'm just gonna see what happens. You know, I'm not gonna lift a finger for now.
Okay.
I'm just gonna have a look.
If you'd like to, as part of the D&D 5th edition rule set, you may quote-unquote hold an action, which is like I prepare an action and I say a trigger, And if that trigger happens, then I'll do this thing as a reaction. So it's like if you're like, oh, I wanna hold an Eldritch Blast and see if Gareth gets hit, and if Gareth gets hit, I'll let that Eldritch Blast go as an example, and that just eats up your reaction.
I think I'll do that. Actually, I'll hold an Eldritch Blast, and
the
if
trigger
a goblin,
could be like if any goblin attacks. Period. Like you can have very arbitrary triggers.
or like if a goblin like starts walking up towards Valerie and Blue Hill, like where they are, like she doesn't care about Gareth.
I understand.
He's fine. He's a big boy.
It's just
gonna be okay.
the only warning is just that the triggers are hyper specific for some silly reason. Though I try to add them in. I try to do it in a more general sense.
Well, if a goblin like goes past, like, I mean, just moves towards us.
Yeah,
I guess.
if a goblin makes an action towards, don't worry, I
Yeah.
understand. If a goblin makes hostile action towards you too, then you'll fire off your Eldritch Blast. I try to rule it as I'm a kind god. So I try to be. It's the orange one's
Sometimes.
turn. The orange one takes a step to the left and is going to go for the short bow attack against Valerie, and then he gets an Eldritch Blast in the face, I assume. Valerie, did that hit? It's a 15. I guess I should just start calling them out if they're not showing up for some reason.
This
It
one showed up.
indeed hit.
Oh, okay, good. I'm going to roll damage. 8 piercing.
Ow.
That thing crit you. That is literally the highest damage they can possibly do in a single short bow attack. And now it's going to eat an Eldritch Blast. Brookhild, you are free to let that one go. That hits
16.
the Root Spirit. Do you want to attack the orange one that just struck you, or the green one that was closer?
The orange one.
The orange one takes a blast to the face. Roll damage on that Eldritch Blast.
Don't
just click
shoot
the
at
name.
my red cat.
Oh, I see. Orange takes 2 points of damage. It's just like, ha! I got it. It is immediately hit with a ball of fire that sprays out from the brush. But they do know that you're here now, unfortunately, as well. It takes it right in the face, and like the skull that it's wearing as a helmet is like blasted off, and it falls into the water. It almost falls into the water itself. Then it tries to quickly shuffle back to its feet. It's the purple one's turn. It runs forward and just goes, for red cap! And goes and it makes an attack action with a scimitar against Gareth.
Yeah.
It's 20.
It's a 20.
That's
Why does it always work for everyone except for when it's against me? What the fuck?
Is it really not showing for, or like when only, is it
No,
not showing?
it isn't.
Damn it,
No.
what the fuck?
It's really not.
Now it feels like arbitrary. I'm just making up the, here, I'm gonna post it just in case. Copy image and post to that fucking Discord chat, double check.
Our DM is a stinky liar.
I
You heard it
know.
here first.
There it is. I proved it. If you just wanted to continue forward, it's just 6 points of slashing damage, and then at this point, Redcap is kind of like looking at you, and you can see like calculating eyeballs. He looks left and right, and he's counting how many 1, 2, 3. You can see him. He's really struggling to get to that third number, but he gets there. And he seems to be calculating something. It is his turn actually. Where's his stat sheet?
I don't know. You keep it somewhere.
All right, he is going to take out a longbow, and that's not right.
I mean, you're right.
He shoots that at Gareth. Well, it's only an 8 though. However,
No, that does not work.
okay. And then he speaks up to everyone. Just goes,
Come on, everybody! Get to it! Get to it!
and that is his villain action. Every goblin within range, which is 60 feet, which is all of them, gets a free turn to move.
What?
Oh yes,
All right. So they're gonna move, but not attack again, right?
but not attack, just move.
Oh,
just
okay, cool.
as part of Bogart Redcap's bonus action.
I see. And green's going on top of blue. You want to put green on top of blue?
Well, hold on. Bogart Redcap turns and points at that blue one. Just goes,
You die when I say you die!
What?
And he forces himself back up. He takes his intestines and puts it back in his belly. Oh, for red cap!
and he is revived with 1 HP.
What?
Is it Gareth's turn?
That is Gareth's turn. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. Redcap. Okay, it's Azrine's turn. Sorry.
Me. I am going to. Where am I? I'm back here.
That's a dead goblin walking is what that is.
Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna go up here. How
The
far
green
away
one's like,
are-
I see you two in the bush. You can't hide from me. I got eyes on the back of my head, the front of my head, the top of my head, my balls, my nipples.
What?
I have eyes everywhere.
I have eyes everywhere. I can see you too.
Azreen, what do you do?
I'd have disadvantage if I use my chakram.
Yeah, it's a little far away, unfortunately, I think. It's outside the 30 range.
Ooh.
You can go for it anyway. You're in stealth, so I'll give you advantage, which just means you'd make a normal roll.
Hold on.
And also you roll 2 chakrams, so at least the first one would get would be normalized, and then the second one would be at disadvantage.
30 feet. Damn it! Never mind.
So, you have a good chance of hitting this green one if you attack with both of them. Because you attack twice in one turn, and you also are not going to have disadvantage for the first one. It'll just be a regular roll for the first one. It's up to you if you want to do it, though. You might want to maintain your stealth for now. Or hold an action.
Hang on. That's not gonna work. Oh, that's 60 feet.
Well, if you're checking range, the first number before the slash is how far it should be used at, and then the second number is
checking something else.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
I am going to, because this guy is 35 feet away from me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna point a finger, and I'm going to say, I am going to cast my dip. So they need to make a. How far away are you? Wait, whoa.
From you, it is 45 feet. 45 feet. Oh, red cap? It's exactly
60 feet.
What are you doing to this creature, supposedly?
He has to make a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed.
Let's see.
It's like, we've defeated you once before.
We
will do it again.
You stand up out of the way and shine your chakrams to get its attention. When Bogart Redcap looks at you, it just rolls a wisdom. It is a 9.
Nope. He is paralyzed for the duration.
And the duration is up to 1 minute. Also, it's concentration. So your eyes start to glow as you are exuding magic. And that's the sound that makes as Bogart Redcap his like 2 rings form around his body in similar shape to your chakrams, around like his upper torso, and like his arms are like pressed right up against his torso, and his feet are thrown together as well. And he is like he looks like he's like hogtied, and he's like standing up, and he's like wobbling around trying not to like fall over. He's paralyzed for the duration of 1 minute or until you break concentration. Yeah.
Which is fine.
He is bound. He cannot move. Paralyzed, I don't know exactly what paralyzed means, but I know at the very least he can't move, and I don't think he can attack.
Nope.
Probably not. I'm looking up the
I'll look it up, don't worry. I'll let you guys continue while I check out the conditions.
Wouldn't that just be like immobile otherwise?
Well, there's like restrained, which is like I cannot move, but I can still act, and then there's like paralyzed, which is like I think you're just fucked. Like I think you're just fucked.
Paralyzed creature is incapacitated and cannot move or speak.
Oh my god.
Automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws. Attack rolls against this creature have advantage. Any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature.
you're just fucked. Like there's restrained and then there's paralyzed. It's like you are just fucked, and it's either it's either one of the other goblins breaks your concentration or he's dead.
They also cannot take actions or reactions, so he can't even break out of it.
No, you're right. He's fucked. It is Gareth's turn. Gareth, you just see these 2 glowing rings like go around Bogart Redcap in his mouth, like his lips are sealed shut. And he looks very angry. He's like looking to the left and right. He looks very angry. Who are you attacking? Oh, it doesn't hit. I'm afraid either way. You swing your greatsword wide, trying to collide with one of them, and they're just they're very agile. They're not strong. It doesn't seem like their fortitude is very tough. They're just very difficult to hit. So you swing wide down into the ground, and wide of the water, it splashes up.
Fuck it.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Is
action
this
surge?
Action
Yeah,
surge?
this is action
All right.
surge, yeah.
This is an action surge.
That hits.
That does hit.
But I'm also spinning a superiority die.
Okay. Who is it getting hit, by the way?
Oh no, all of them around me. I'm doing
Okay.
sweeping attack.
I think I need to read sweeping attack.
It's if any other creature that's within 5 feet range.
In a whole ass circle?
Yeah.
All right. I'm all about it. Roll damage on all of them. Okay. The blue one is just cleaved in half. Like his legs are separated from the top torso of his body. And the other one's pink, purple, and orange. Take 5 points of damage.
He'll come back.
He'll be fine.
No, he won't because Redcap is paralyzed.
He's okay.
Oh
He's
man,
okay.
I thought, damn,
Pink, purple, and orange.
I thought 5 health points would have killed them. Oh well.
You killed Orange as well, actually. He took some damage earlier from someone else doing something, I guess. Oh, that was the one who
Hi.
got hit with the Eldritch Blast. Yeah.
Yeah, Eldritch blasted him in the face.
That one is killed. Orange was also like the sword finally
Oh wait,
terminates
I
in
forgot.
its
I need to
stomach.
roll the
Superiority die.
what is it? My superiority die to add to the damage.
Oh, you add that to the
Okay.
damage? Okay.
yeah, I added
okay,
to my
cool.
damage. Hold up,
Cool.
1 second. Let me
Please-
see.
okay.
What is it again?
Never mind, they're all
I'll check what
It's
it
a
is.
1d8 as far as I know.
1d8.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain it's a 1d8.
I always forget to do that. Hold up. I'm looking.
Mhm.
I want to just double check. Let's see it. Where the hell did you go?
It's a mystery. By the way,
Yeah, it's 1d8. It's 1d8.
Okay, 1d8, good, excellent. I wanted to just let everybody know that I've looked it up, I've done a lot of research.
6.
They
So
all die. Every single one
okay, cool.
dies. Every single one around you in a 360
And
degree.
Garrett's just going to just walk right up to Redcap. And that's my turn.
Okay, they're all killed instantly. Yes, they are all bisected. It's like
Isn't
watching...
green fine or did green also die?
green
No.
just looked at him and just went, and is it's Garrett's
I've
turn.
seen enough and just fucking just squeeze all of them before just slowly walking towards Redcap.
It's Blue's turn. He looks down at his legs and just goes,
Blue's dead.
ah! It's Green's turn. Green is going to wave his arm up in the air, back and forth, flailing a large bone chime. The same one that Valerie heard earlier, like a what is that term?
A maracas?
A maraca. Thank you very much. And that is going to be a d20 check on him to do this. Excellent.
Uh-oh.
You hear some rustling in the brush, and a large hyena shows up out of the brush. I don't know if anybody forgot about that or not, but it's here.
It's just a dog. What is he gonna do?
It's a large
All right,
dog.
the warg, I forgot.
Yeah, the large warg, and riding the warg is another goblin. Let's see here. Let's get another gobble out. There we are. One guy, it just comes charging out of the wood, and it looks around really quickly, back and forth, sniffing the air. And the goblin kind of looks down at you and just it seems a little bit surprised at everyone being dead. But that's the end of Green's turn. It is now Valerie's turn.
Well, before that thing gets to do anything, I'm gonna hopefully finish off Green.
Okay. Green looks goes, aha! Kill them before they. And we'll see what happens after that. Maybe he'll finish the sentence. Maybe he won't.
I don't think he will.
No.
Yeah. The rapier goes straight through its back and up through its chest, and he just and black blood begins to drip.
Valerie dashed forward so quick, did not even let this thing finish its sentence.
And,
Nothing personnel, kid.
It dies on your blade, and you kind of just tilt it down to the side, slides face down into the water.
Gives it a gross look.
Is Brugkild's turn?
Let me figure out. 60. Okay. Why didn't I check? I have like 120 and Eldritch Blast.
There's nothing.
Okay.
If it is on this field, you can hit it.
It
doesn't matter where it is.
I'm actually going to Acid Splash.
You can ask
the hyena.
Oh, that'll hit both it and the
Yeah, I
rider.
can hit both. They have to roll dex
Okay.
against my spell save DC, which is 12, I believe.
Okay.
That was it.
That is a root spirit. It makes a dexterity. They're pretty dexterous. This might actually go in their favor.
Okay.
3, a critical failure. It doesn't sound like they are going to succeed. So roll damage. Oh wait, also on the warg, I have to roll for the warg separately. I mean, it hits that one no matter what. So just character sheet. Dexterity save on the warg. Not as dexterous, but maybe it'll get
This
better.
is a DC 10.
Nope, they both fail.
Alright, you
are,
both take 4 points of acid damage.
I'll look at your sheet later. That's not correct. It definitely should
No,
be at
I
least
know.
12. But yeah, they did both take 4 points of damage. The goblin begins to like kind of scream and cry, attempting to get this poison off of its body, but it cannot succeed. It's like sticking to it as it melts its flesh. Is that the end of your turn? Do you move?
Uh,
I don't
No.
think there's... Okay.
no, I'm fine.
Orange turn, dead. Purple turn, dead. Pink turn, dead. Bogart Redcap.
He gets to make a save at the end of his turn.
Does he get to make a save at the end of his turn, Ezra?
Every single
Yeah.
turn, he gets to make a new save.
Oh shit, cool. He might live. And it's a wisdom save,
I
right?
mean, no, he's going to die, but
A 10. It thinks
Nope.
really hard. But he does not break free.
Nope.
That I guess that's the end of his turn. Rippin' pepperoni is what I'm gonna be calling that from now on.
Ripperino.
It's the hyena's turn and the warg's turn, and it looks back and forth, and it looks at the Bogart Redcap, who's like being restrained by this foul magic, and the warg kind of like lunges forward. The warg, what's the distance on that warg? 50 feet. Okay.
No.
Yes. Oh yes. The warg stops.
Animals love fish.
They just love fish. I don't think that it can get any closer than that though without dashing, but it's just gonna stop right there. It's biting and gnashing, trying to get up the side of the basin. And it's just throwing its body, trying to like claw. It knows that something's up there. It can smell you. And the other goblin is at the top, and it readies its arrow to fire at you, Azarine, into the wood. Goblin spirit. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Hello?
Peas. Peas, no. Peas.
He's
Peas.
fires its arrow at you. I believe it's
Ow.
a hit. You take some damage.
yeah.
Ow.
Take 4 points of piercing damage. Roll a Constitution saving throw to maintain your concentration.
Wow, why do I get crit, but you get half damage?
13. That is actually my spell save DC, so meet it to beat it.
I forgot how. One second. I must look this up so I know for next time. I believe that you have to beat a 10, so I think you beat it, but let me just double check.
I think concentration depends on what happens, like the
Is
roll
it
and
most-
DC for it.
It depends
Isn't
on
most things meet it to beat it unless it's like initiative? Because
most stuff is meet it to beat it, except if it's a quote unquote competition. In which case, meeting it just means that we go back to what was happening before.
then you go to like 13.5 or whatever.
Yeah, then it might happen like that as well. Components, semantic. What is a concentration check? I'm pretty sure it's a 10, so I'm pretty sure it's either 10 or half of the damage you take, whichever is higher. Half of the damage you took would be 2, so 10 is higher, which means you have to beat a 10, which you did. I was fairly certain that Azarine succeeded. I just wanted to know what the official rule was going forward when we start, fighting liches and shit like that. So yeah, you get it. This arrow whizzes by and you barely dodge out of the way of it, but you also maintain concentration on your spell. Fantastic. You take a little bit of mental damage trying to not get hit, but yeah, you take 2 points of damage. And it is the end of their turn. It is now Gareth's. Oh wait, no, it is Azarine. It's actually your turn. You just dodge this arrow.
Retaliation time.
Retaliation
Okay.
is gonna be. They're within 20 feet of me, so I'm gonna throw my chakram.
Sure. I think your chakram does more damage if you're in melee with it versus just.
I'm
throwing
aware.
It. Okay, wasn't sure.
I'm aware.
Are you hitting the warg or are you hitting the root spirit?
I'm gonna hit the
The warg looks like it'd be easier to hit because it's bigger.
warg.
Okay, you hit it.
So 3 damage.
3 points of damage.
I'm gonna do it again.
Oh shit. Okay.
16
That hits.
at the same thing.
Uh-huh.
6 damage, so a total of 9.
Excellent. It looks pretty hurt. These chakrams bounce off its fucking skull and return back to your hand, and blood begins to trickle down its forehead. It is do you move? That's all you have left. You don't have your first action was to throw the first chakram, your bonus action was to throw the second chakram, and now you just have your move.
Bye.
Alright, you dash through the brush. Gareth. How you doing?
Yeah.
How you doing, Gare Bear?
Yeah. Garrett just kind of stares down at this goblin.
The goblin looks up at you defiantly.
Consider this a mercy.
I wish Bogart Redcap could talk.
I mean, if I hit like a bout, isn't it like an auto crit?
Yeah, if you hit,
Yeah, it's
you have
an
advantage,
auto-crit.
and it's an auto crit if you hit. But you might fail.
Yeah.
He is wearing armor. Like he is wearing armor. You might still fail.
So that's 8. That's 8. Oh no, it was a 16.
It's a 16. What is Bogart Redcap's the Undying AC? It doesn't hit. It doesn't hit.
What?
It doesn't hit. His AC is higher than that. Bogart. His AC. I will tell you his AC if that makes you feel better, because it is higher than 16, but only it is this is an armored goblin. He is wearing like what looks to be like a gladiatorial manica over his right arm, and he's wearing like breastplate and thigh armor and stuff like that, and you throw your greatsword into him, but he's trying to like wiggle back and forth. He could just like barely turn to like try and make you collide with the armor instead.
No.
Yeah, he's way tougher than the rest of his goblin brethren are.
Take the L.
Actually,
Take the L, Salty.
Gareth
Are you
would.
gonna do all of your cool guy stuff before we even fought the mission boss?
Gareth, I will
I
tell
did it
you.
before.
Gareth would know this is not a goblin. This is a hobgoblin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not the same stats.
Hold on. Let me just roll a good old D8 because fuck it, I don't care.
Well, you're gonna burn a superiority die.
17. Did I meet it to beat it?
Yeah, you need it to beat it.
All right,
Fuck
cool.
you.
So,
Fuck
You
you.
literally got the worst thing.
8.
Bogart
That's 8.
Redcap says, "Fuck you, Bogart Redcap." He thinks it. He just stares at you. Ah! Roll damage.
So that is.
So wait, hold on. What
that's
what is the maneuver that you are using?
precision attack? I can just
Precision
add it to the AC, and then if it hits, do the damage. So
Okay.
that's a total of 10 damage.
That is a total of 10 damage. And it also is critical as well, so it's doubling it. So that's what the 10 is total. Bogart Redcap
Yes.
takes 10 points of damage as you just you throw your sword across its chest and cleave into the neck where like the flesh is just partially exposed. That is the first damage that Bogart Redcap has taken. And he is still standing. He is still standing. He looks at you defiantly.
He's not standing. First of all,
He's trying. He's upright. He's standing. He's not prone. He's just like restrained.
I thought he was.
Yeah, there's these two glowing rings that are like tightened around him, and he's like hogtied, but he hasn't fallen over. He is not prone, quote unquote.
He's standing very funny though.
He is standing very funny. Yes. That is the end of your turn. It's blue is dead. It is dead. Valerie, it's your turn. You just see a warg behind you that's like.
I'm gonna move over to my pals, and I'm gonna shoot the warg.
Okay. Roll an attack action against that warg.
My
you
sheet is
quickly-
glitching out. Give me a moment.
You throw your body back up the basin. You strike with a 20 on the crossbow. You're very dexterous. This is a good decision for you.
Woo! Oh my
Alright.
god!
What
That
in
is
the
max
fuck, damn?
damage for a light crossbow.
That's max damage.
Alright.
That's max damage. Yeah, the warg takes 10 points of damage. How much damage has it taken so far? Okay, the warg is actually pretty tough. That's okay. 10 brings it up to. It's still alive, but just barely.
Holy crap!
Yeah, you shoot it right in the back, and its hind leg goes limp. And it is like very clearly on the way out, but it is still alive. It is Brewkill's turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the old strategy and acid splash the both of them. Actually, no.
I wonder if there's like an AOE calculation of like how many enemies can you get in acid splash before it.
2.
Surely 2, right? Yeah, okay. I like that. I really like it when it's like that, trying to figure out like when to use this thing versus death. Acid splash is just them making a dexterity save, though, isn't it?
Yeah, dex save
Okay.
or 1d6 acid.
I do believe they avoid it. They're fairly dexterous. The 17 and a 19. Did that beat your DC? I think it did.
Is it my spell save DC? I can't
Yeah,
see.
I think it's your
Yeah, it
spell
is.
save.
Yeah, my spell save is 12.
If anybody at some point can like hang out with me and Brookhill afterwards to like just make sure that her spell stuff is all good, then that'd be good. Because I
wouldn't
feel
mind.
like it should be.
Yeah, I
Higher
can hang
than-
out for a little bit.
Might be.
As
I think
a
that
Seasoned spellcaster.
when we take a
Sorcerer
break
is
soon,
fine, man.
we're gonna take a break soonish, and then we'll figure it out from there. Okay. They avoid it, unfortunately. The warg is it sees it coming and dodges out. This time it knows, right? Like you hit it the first time, and now it sees it coming. It sees this giant glob of green acid flowing towards it through the air, and this time it dodges out of the way narrowly of it, carrying the rider with it. And that is, do you move, Brookhild?
No, I'm gonna stay right there.
Okay. Orange, purple, pink are all dead. It is Redcap's turn. He gets to make a saving throw apparently, which is very good. I'll be honest, I thought he didn't. I accepted my fate.
He
God
screams.
damn it.
The shackles that bind him are broken. I am Bogart Red
Well,
Cap.
I mean, it can only happen at the end of his turn, so that's the end of his turn.
Yeah, it's the end of his turn.
That's all he
So
can do.
he cannot take his action.
You're being really crackly salty.
Oh, salty crackling? Salty with thinking crackle rackling.
Oh, he crackling.
That honestly sounds like a problem that could really just be solved by unplugging and plugging it back in. But I don't really know what's
Yeah, but
happening.
it's
probably
water
is a
damage.
face.
Oh shit, I forgot about the water damage. Yeah,
It's
okay.
water damage, so it's like
He's gonna need a new snowball, that's what that sounds like. Fuck, dude.
Oh.
no, you can just change the wire, fix it.
Can you though? With a
I mean,
snowball?
if
With
it's
what he's
just
got?
the plug and not like the microphone itself, yeah, that's.
Well, it's
I mean,
just,
I know how to
think-
fix that.
Okay, well, it's just I think that the microphone has a built-in wire is what I'm trying to say. So he'd have to like undo the casing to replace the wire rather than just
I
like
mean,
getting a new
Salty's
USB.
not going to do that because he's useless. But
Well, you know, he's
I
not
could-
here, so we can shit talk him all I want. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is the
I should
end.
talk him
What a
when
piece!
he's here. too.
What a piece of shit.
That is the end of Bogart Redcap's turn, but he does have a reaction because that happens
Aw.
after the end of your turn. And he raises his spear high into the air and just goes, "We will not be defeated! Come to me!" And literally from the earth, like black wisp of like dark black and brown, begins to form a small creature directly
Ugh.
to the left of him. And it is another goblin. Another
Yeah,
goblin.
No,
forms
you're just
from the earth.
wasting your stuff. No, don't.
And that is
Anyways.
the end of that's Bogart's. Bogart's turn is already over. That's his reaction. And that is now Hyena turn. Hyena at this point is like, I see, sniffing him out. It lunges through the woods and it just attacks the first thing that it can see. Brookild,
Hi.
it leaps upon you and tries to maul you. It makes a bite attack against you. I think that hits.
Brookild, I
do.
appreciate you as a friend.
Make a DC.
He rolled
13.
for Hobgoblin.
Hmm?
But
Yeah, Redcap ran up and bit you.
It's not showing it, is it?
okay, no.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. I'll post it to you in the thing because I need
How
you
much?
to read it.
Just tell me the numbers. I don't
Well, you got to read it. You gotta make a DC 13 thing as well. It's not just numbers.
care. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's more
let's
to it than
see,
that. If it was just numbers, I would just tell you. But
Okay, no, 23 hits me.
yeah, 23 definitely hits you. But
I don't
DC
even think
13
I can
strength
cut in
saving
words
throw.
that'd be useless.
Wait. Strength?
Yep, strength saving throw.
Whoops, wait, yeah, that's it.
I'm afraid you fail. It literally just
Yeah.
leaps on you and pounces you down to the ground, and it's just on top of you, just biting into you. You take 11 points of piercing damage. And you are knocked prone. You are not grappled, so you could just get back up again and try to run away. But you provoke an attack of opportunity. But other than that, you're not like restrained. You've been knocked prone, which is its own status ailment. And that is the end of the warg's turn.
Yeah.
But it's also
yeah.
now the spirit goblin's turn. The root spirit, aka a goblin. It's Shortbow's Valerie. 8 points of damage. 22 definitely hits. I'm fairly certain. Anything above a 20.
That one
I'm just
also
assuming.
didn't show up, by the way.
God damn. Well, all right. Well, just trust me on these one. I'm the DM. I usually hide my rules anyway for half
I'm
of
just,
it.
I'm
so.
just telling you.
But that's unfortunate. I don't know what that is. It must be something with the servers of
Ouch.
Roll20.
Both?
Is there an
Both
option?
bows
that's
hit me for
popping up?
max. Jeez.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Is it really max? Yeah, it is. It's a 1d6 plus 2. Fuck, dude. I'm sorry. It's unlucky.
Ouchie.
What was that, Azreen?
Is there an option box that's popping up for you every time you press these buttons?
I
or-
thought about that. I thought like maybe I'm rolling in DM mode, which is like I'm able to hide rules. I've been looking for that option. I haven't found it, but I haven't like checked that. I'll keep looking though, but I don't know why. Well, like why are some showing up and others not? Is like the kind of the question. But there's no box that's asking me anything while I do it. I'll check though. It has been. Has it been consistently? Before?
Hey, Gray.
Yes.
That thing just wait. Did that thing move? From because I thought you said it spawned right next to him,
Oh yeah.
and then it moved.
Oh, I didn't mean like when I said next to him, I meant just in the general sense of
Oh,
relationship,
okay.
not inherently like 5 feet away. I just meant like 10 feet.
General direction.
General
It's all
direction. Yeah, to the left of. Not to spoil anything, but where the goblin generates is up to the control of the hobgoblin. And it shows there. It is Azrien's turn.
We need to kill this Lorg quick.
I am going to chakram the living daylights out of the warg
The warg. All right, roll some chakrams. Or get up there and start cutting.
No.
It doesn't hit. It's moving
Please let
fast.
the other one hit.
It's moving quick. It's like vibrating. Second one does not hit either. I'm afraid it's moving too fast. It's just like it's dragging Brughild like back and forth in its teeth as it's like trying to dodge out of the way of the chakrams.
Brughild just has like a really bad experience of like getting vored by things.
I'm good.
Oh, good. I can't believe we found the secret DM fetish. Voring dwarves. Devoring, if you will.
I don't
Gareth, your
like
turn.
that rhymes.
I'm leaving.
Gareth, what do you do?
War.
What do I do? Well,
I mean, we'll see what you do. I think that you surrender to Bogart Redcap. And
yeah, I do.
accept
Actually, you're right.
his humble leadership. Okay, you
Yeah.
offer your greatsword to him, doing how much damage?
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
14
points of slashing damage. Okay, so what happens? What happens to this dwarf? What happens to not this dwarf? What happens to this goblin?
Don't kill me.
What happens to this hobgoblin?
I mean, I'm tired of all this like endless shouting and yada buda bada
Bogart
Redcap. And he's just like, you don't know when to quit, and he just fucking just like leans back and just fucking cleaves him into like split right down the middle.
Down the middle. You start at the top of its ear on the left side and start carving down through the nose and the mouth, the jaw, and the neck, and down into the middle. I think your sword finally stops at like the pelvis. And the two halves just like fall apart like cutting cheese. And both halves fall silently into the water.
Mm-hmm.
And is that the end of your turn? Do you move? I guess is the question.
Does the fucking thing that he summoned die too?
No, it does not.
Yeah, no, that's the end of my turn.
Okay, it is a blue.
No. I'm actually going to just turn, see this thing, and just go do something. Do something. I just wanted to be in range of it if it wants to run away.
Oh, I see.
Intimidation?
Roll intimidation.
Uh,
Roll intimidation after just cleaving the master in half.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, you just like take two steps and you're in front of it, and this thing is just like looking up at you. It's gonna roll wisdom, aka charisma's courage, right? Totally. Oops, just count the one. Just count the first one, whatever it is. 13. Okay, it looks up at you and just pisses itself. There's this thin black liquid just falls
I
down.
don't want to hear the details of that.
It's fine. We don't need to hear anymore. It is 1, 2, 1, 2. Valerie, it's your turn.
Okay, my trusty rapier hasn't let me down yet, so I'm gonna dash over to the warg.
With your ample speed, hovering across the ground like a demon.
Woohoo!
That's a hit. Poke. How much poke damage does it do? 6 points of poke damage? You pierce it in the side of the head, and out the other side, and it falls limp over Brughild's body.
Die already.
And the goblin on top is just kind of like hitting it on the back, like, "Come on, what are you doing? No napping on the job."
Can I roll an intimidation check on this goblin? Like, just say
Sure.
nothing but stare at him.
I've set a bad precedent by letting Gareth do
Yeah,
that.
you
but that's
did.
all
You
right.
did. You really did.
Only with goblins. Who cares? Goblins. It says goblins. Roll intimidation on the goblin.
So Valerie literally just does nothing. She's just standing there and like whips the blood off of her rapier and just looks down at the goblin.
The goblin's up above you because it's still sitting on the. Well, no, the warg fell down, didn't it? All right, yeah, it looks at you and there's just dead silence for about 5 seconds, and then it just holds its chest and just goes, "I'm dying. I'm dead," and then just falls backwards, limp, and splashes into the water, and then it rolls over face down, and it tries to. You see it like take a big breath and it starts like floating along the water down the way.
I kin that goblin.
And it just starts floating away, trying to badly. You see like, and then its head goes back down underneath the water again as it begins to.
I don't want to kill it, but I want to throw a rock at its head just for comedic effect.
Okay, roll an attack action with your crossbow, and we'll just pretend it's a rock.
I'm so excited.
Okay, roll damage.
So Valerie just picks up a pebble and like whips it out of its head as it like comes up for air.
It opens its mouth, and goes, and then just the rock collides with like the side of its head, and it just goes. It's out cold, and it's just face down in the water. So presumably it's just going to drown. and in a couple of seconds, it just continues to float down the water a little bit more. Just 1, 2, and then it just sinks. And then just sinks down like maybe 3 inches and just starts to like drag along the seat, like the bed of the creek. And then it just stops and it is dead.
I like how my highest roll was for comedy.
What better reason is there?
That's hard power.
It is
that thing's turn.
yeah, it's this thing's turn. It moves with blinding speed, Gareth. You just see a splash in the water and then it bolts.
No, attack of opportunity.
Okay.
No.
Oh, it's a miss. It's going to run as fast as it possibly can.
What the fuck?
Which is like 60 feet or even more? No, it's 60 feet. How far is 60 feet from here? Ooh, oh, there it is. I guess that's where it lives. That's the end of its turn. In theory, it's not officially escaped until it gets off the battlefield. I love how all the lines start to come out from the characters to like calculate zooming in a lot. I have to move this one for a second just so I can put a red X over its dead body. And then I'll put it back where it was because it died.
It just drowned.
It just drowned. It's not going to drown for another minute, but that's
Presumably, we're not going to save the
Presumably,
goblin.
you're not going to save the goblin. It is Valerie's turn, actually.
What do I even do?
I don't know if there's anything you can do.
What's the range on my crossbow?
Let's find out. We should probably have that. It might be written down in there if you just clicked and
It
dragged
it
off
should
of
be.
off the compendium. If you put it in yourself, then God help you.
I put it in myself. Hang on.
Oh, well, then we will have to find out. Let me see the roll up on my compendium.
It should be 60 feet.
It
like
is
most.
80 feet until it hits a disadvantage. It's 80 feet until disadvantage. A light
So
crossbow.
I guess I'll just take a shot at that goblin just cause.
Sure. I don't know if that one hasn't actually taken any damage yet, but it's a 1d8 plus 2, so you might have just one shot at roll damage, or roll an attack actually to begin with, and we'll see what happens after that. It does. Well,
That's your rapier.
hold on.
That's not the right.
That is my.
A
you know what?
rapier
I'll-
comes spinning out of the forest like a football. That does not hit, I'm afraid. Just barely. It just wings by it and hits the ground next to it. There's a splash in the water where the arrow is sticking up out of the ground.
Dang.
By the way, you're marking down bolts, right? Your ammo.
I am indeed. I'm at 17.
Hot. But it narrowly dodges like its left ankle, and it kind of like goes and it continues to try and run past.
Actually, I almost counted 16, but that last thing was a pebble.
Yeah, that doesn't count. Brookild, it's your turn. Oh, does Valerie move? I think that's the only thing you can do.
I'll just move back with the healer because Oh wait, actually, does a potion count as like a
potion
full
is an
action?
action to consume, unfortunately.
Damn.
There are potions out there that only require a bonus action, but you do not have any currently.
I mean, it's not like half a second is going to change much in this scenario.
Yeah, I gotta go with it. I just gotta go with it.
No. It's just
For one very specific reason, because Brookild looks and sees that goblin, and he has something in his hand. It looks like a red hat.
I don't care what he has in his hand. I just want to Eldritch Blast him in the face.
Go for it. Roll an attack action.
Wait, he took the hat. He's gonna become the next.
This goblin's trying to escape.
We have to stop them. This is going to be.
Wait, how did he pick it up if I got in between him and Redcap?
It started floating on the creek, man. And he just reached as quickly as he possibly could to snatch it up.
Also, the cap should be cut in two, shouldn't it?
But unfortunately for you, I narrated the sword entering through above the ear and going down the rest of the way. The cap undamaged.
Unfortunately, plot convenience.
Unfortunately, you did not specify that I am attacking the hat,
said
which
from
has
the
its own
top.
AC and HP to calculate.
The hat has plot armor.
The hat has its own AC that you have to.
Okay, did I hit the fucking thing?
Let me see. Yes. 8 points of force damage. It takes 8 points of force damage and dies.
It's now
yep.
canon that any red cap in this D&D campaign has an AC of 2 million.
It falls down. It falls down face for hitting the back of in its back. There's this burning hole, and it goes ah, and falls forward into his knees, and it's just to limp on a bit further. And it just has this hat in his hand. He's holding it close to his heart, and he kisses it. He kisses this hat, and he just go. go! And he throws it with his last dying breath down the creek, and the hat begins to just go down the water, picked up by the tides, picked up by the rapids. The river, the current, beginning to carry the hat down the water. Down the water.
Brunhild hasn't even noticed that the hat. She was just really pissed and like tries to push the warg off of herself.
Gareth's just fucking checking these things for cash.
Live on.
Are we just gonna keep fighting Redcap?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that much was
Reoccurring
certain since the
villain.
first time we fought Redcap.
You guys have beat my goblin muscle.
I mean, I took it like.
Gareth was like, he stopped. This battle for him stopped like 2 minutes ago. All right. Yeah, you guys are out of initiative. Good job.
Yeah, I am
All that's here.
rummaged through Redcap and the 4.
Yep. That's
What did I find anything?
Yeah,
or-
roll an investigation to see what you guys find. There's all that's here. This is like a small, shallow basin. There's that large painted rock with ornate carvings and like paintings on it, and looks like finger paint. You look through a few of the people, and you rustle through some of the goblins, trying to find what shinies they might have picked up along the side. Their bodies are quickly decaying. Valerie, you find this plus this because you beat the DC. You find 47 gold pieces on one of the goblins. It looks like that was the one that was kind of like the treasure hoarder kind of one. You find it also like, you find a shiny brass doorknob, a left earring.
How do you know it's a left earring?
Because it's labeled with an L, so that you don't forget. And some dice. You just find 2 very hobbled wooden dice. Gareth, you find... And Gareth is closest to the hobgoblin, quote-unquote, chieftain, so you're searching him, I presume. You find 75 golden pieces on the goblin's body, and you also find 6 silver pieces on the goblin's body. It had a spear that it was using as its main weapon, not that it ever got the chance to use it. It is wearing basic medium armor. It is wearing like the lowest tier of medium armor. It's wearing like a hobbled together chainmail shirt with some iron
How the hell did he have
straps to
17
it.
armor then?
Because you had your dexterity.
Yeah, but medium armor doesn't go above 15, does it?
Yeah, but then there's
a
the dex and there's
There's
Yeah,
dex
but
there.
you can't. But Dex mod, you can only add up
Hobgoblin,
to 2.
armor class 17, chainmail, and shield. There you go.
Damn. Oh, the shield. Okay.
I don't know, man. I just read the stats. I don't know why, man.
No, the shield actually makes it sense.
Oh, well, there
because
you
you can't. Because Dex armor, you can't add more than +2 from your Dex modifier.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just pull from the book. I don't know what it means. I just pull from the book. But yeah, that's what you find on that one. If you want to, you could take the chainmail shirt. That's like horrible, and the shield and the spear. But I wouldn't recommend it.
I mean, it's probably ruined from being cleaved.
Oh yeah, probably cleaved in half. Probably did something with it. There's like an apple. There's like a 1 ration. There's a small flag that doesn't look like it pertains to any particular.
No, Gareth just took
governance.
the money, and he's already looking to see where the hags could be.
presumably I found warg drool.
You found warg drool. I mean, everybody who wants to possibly loot, roll investigation, please.
Can I roll my potion?
is not
You can use your
fantastic
action if you
for
want to.
me.
Yeah, you can pop a potion if you'd like.
I have good investigation and bad
Oh, I'm
rolls.
alright.
Wait, how much does a potion heal again?
2d4 plus 2. I believe. Azreen and Brookild, you both find, let's see here. You both find a jewel, just a singular small, it doesn't look necessarily, it's not a ruby, but it's a red stone, that looks like it'd be worth some change. And you both also find on the body, on the saddlebag of the warg, is kind of what you're kind of looking at right here. You find 67 golden pieces to split between the two of you.
And you made it 67.
I didn't make shit. I just read the chart.
So I'll take 33 if you want 34.
That's fine with me.
Valerie quaffs a potion. And you both also recover 2 of these rubies. It looks like the goblin had gold teeth, if you're willing to try and pull them out of its skull.
Hmm.
Brookild's like, decisions.
I'm all set.
It's gross, But it's money.
Well, you might
You
only have
can
a
have it.
certain. You might only have one shot, one opportunity. The goblin's starting to like decay rapidly.
Well, I mean, gold isn't decay.
Well, these guys haven't left behind weapons yet, so there's some stuff that seems to decay with them.
Fine. I take an axe to the thing's skull and try to get
Roll,
its mandibles out.
I'll let you choose between sleight of hand or medicine.
Sleight of hand.
Either doing this in a quick, brutal way or doing this in a more dexterous, professional way.
No, quick, brutal way.
Okay, roll sleight of hand. Yeah, with a
Doing
16,
words, OP.
you do just like chop open its face, and through the blood and the bone bits, you are able to recover the gold. It's a golden tooth, so it's presumably worth its weight in gold. But it's just a tooth right now, so you're gonna have to like find a way to sell it to somebody or melt it down or something to get the true value out of it. But you have a golden tooth. It's like a golden molar.
Gross. Bruchel makes a really ugly face at this terrible sight of the fucked up goblin face.
It quickly just like becomes mush as it just slowly decays away. The warg stays, by the way. The warg is still there.
Weird.
Let us find the hags for too much daylight goes.
Gareth, roll perception check, please.
Got it. Us.
Can we eat?
Yeah, we're gonna take a break in half a second.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna end the stream and resume it afterwards. Yeah, there's something bubbling underneath you. There's just like bubbles that just every now and then.
I poke at it with my sword.
Okay, they're seemingly coming out from underneath the large painted rock with the ornate carvings that the goblins were all surrounded around earlier before this whole engagement started.
There are I guess I missed the trees for the forest for the trees. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna. Can I like push? Can I try to move it?
Yeah, roll
The
athletics.
sword? Athletics.
I wouldn't recommend your sword. Maybe just your hands or.
Fine. Yeah, I'll move it. Wow.
you give a big hearty push on it. But it feels very heavy. It feels like it's within your power to move if you want to give it another shot.
Yeah, fuck it. What the fuck? Alright.
It's so heavy. It's so
Oh,
heavy.
big strong guy is so strong.
You could try if you try a third time. If you fail by too much of a margin, I will incur exhaustion upon you,
Fuck this.
and that is the price for
Should
rolling
we,
too many times.
Should we
at the same
help
time.
him?
There's no way you could roll bad a third time.
Hey, what are the odds, Gareth? Come
He's
on.
gonna roll
No,
bad
you're
every
right.
time.
What are the
You're right.
odds?
Oh fuck!
No, with a
Yeah,
9, you do beat the fucking DC.
God, I have a +4. This is fucking stupid.
Listen, these
I
things
happen.
roll 20 with a passion.
You're
We
tired.
ran out of good rolls for this fight.
Yeah, you just killed you just cut a hobgoblin in half with your sword, man. Listen, give yourself
Yeah.
a break. You're trying to move too fast. But you push it again, and it rolls back, and then rolls back towards you again, like it's like the rock is trying to maintain its own balance.
What?
It's like pushing, a Segway.
And that was a success.
Yeah.
Well, fuck it. If that's what I get with the success, Garrett doesn't care anymore.
Everyone just sees the rock kind of like roll through the water a little bit, and then kind of like quickly like move back and forth, trying to like maintain its balance after almost being pushed over by Gareth.
Brunhild is going to clean herself up a little bit because she got a little bit fucked. And she's going to start walking towards the rock.
Okay, you approach the rock. I'm gonna erase
And-
this field. There's really no point for it anymore.
I would like to know. I mean, you said there was things on it, right?
Yeah, there's all
what kind
kinds
of
of-
things is on? Is it just like random goblin doodling, or like can I
no.
roll something?
Yeah,
to figure
roll
it out?
roll investigation on it. Roll insight or investigation or history, your choice. I feel like I should just say like roll a wisdom check and then you pick, because there's so many instances where it's like I don't have a specific thing. Many skills could guarantee.
No, I can't read goblin.
But this rock is cursed. With a 5, because you can't critically fail skill check. You get whatever number you get, so you get a 5, which is better than the layman. This is not goblin. It's not goblin. This is very ornately carved. It looks like a tattoo artist did this. It looks like some kind of artist did this. It's very fancy.
Is it comparable to our brands?
No, it looks much more like
Okay.
the kind that you'd see, like like tattoos that sailors might have, or like carvings that someone might do on like wood or scrimshaw, like that sort of thing.
Hmm.
It looks very fancy though.
The rock moved.
It did move,
That's
yeah.
not-
Can
Can I take a peek at it?
Sure. Do you want to roll investigate? What do you do to it? I suppose is how are you examining it, and we'll decide then how the.
I want to see if I can decipher any of the markings from my travels around the entirety of the coast.
Roll a wisdom check, your pick, with advantage.
Wisdom with advantage?
Yep.
You said? Oh.
I mean, you're leveraging your history. If you give your short rest is 1 hour.
And you said.
Oh, is it? Oh, I thought it was 3
You said
minutes.
wisdom, right?
Yeah, any wisdom check you pick. Anything that's under the heading of wisdom.
18.
Yeah, you definitely recognize some of this. This looks like artistry that you've seen like on the tattoo artists of like Cape Solomon and like the Port Verde. Like this looks like very ornate carvings from like that you'd see like on the side of sailor ships and stuff like that. It looks like stuff that you've seen on a lot of travelers and stuff like that. It looks very ornate, very very well done, very very fancifully done. You've seen people like this, and mainly in Port Verde. Sailors will have tattoos that look like this. And with an 18 insight, you look down and you see like an eye sticking up out of the water at you. And then it closes and quickly dives underneath the water again.
Ah!
Whoa! What is it? What is it?
I think this thing is alive!
The rock?
Yeah, I saw an eyeball!
A few bubbles come out from underneath the rock.
I'm gonna poke it.
You poke it. Nothing seems to happen.
Can I whip another?
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
I think because of my race, if this is a water-dwelling creature, I can talk to it.
Okay.
Valerie's just casually holding a pebble and she drops it.
Okay. Azarine just gets down on her hands and knees and just pushes her head like down underneath the water, in order to begin the water communication process. You look down and there's like this echoey, bubbly sort of sensation, and when you speak, it's you're using like the aether to try and communicate a little bit. You just see like two beady eyes in a hole underneath the rock, and slowly a turtle-like head pokes out of the hole and goes, "Hello."
New friend.
Is she talking to the fucking rock?
You're not a goblin.
No, I'm
it is
not.
so.
What the fuck?
Are you one of those people?
People?
Yes.
What do you mean people? Like,
Not goblin.
no, we're not.
The rock shifts and just kind of like shakes a little bit, and the rock stands up on two back legs, thick and stocky. Who wants to roll a nature check for me?
Who's better at nature than me?
I have a 3 in nature.
Not I.
I have a
Gareth,
1.
and Gareth's like he's like.
Oh, actually, I have a 0 in nature. Never mind.
I have a 2. How is it that you have 0 and I have 2?
Warlock's very smart.
Survival is different than nature.
Very, very well done. Very well traveled. Who killed this? But yeah, it stands up. This thing stands up.
It's a rock. No.
It's a rock. No, no.
It's clearly not a rock.
It is a tortle.
A big eyeball?
Tortle.
Oh,
It is a tortle, which is
I get out of the water.
species. It is a race of mortal creature, if you will. Similar,
Oh, they're
akin
people.
to Dragonborn. Probably their closest living relative. Brookhild's understanding is like, there's some kind of Dragonborn. I've never seen one though. And yeah, it's a turtle it's a bipedal turtle. With fancy like
kind of
carving
cute.
across its chest and
Yeah,
across
they're
its body.
actual people.
It has like it's wearing like a belt like around its like arms and around its legs that actually are like holding, like you see a dagger on the left side and you see like a satchel that it was like lying on top of that's now very waterlogged, and like a few other supplies of like a traveler's supplies that it's now like trying to push around its body, and it's looking around with this reptilian like eyes at each of you in turn. Like you kind of get the understanding that it's rolling perception on you guys.
Hello.
Hi?
Hello.
are you okay?
No.
I
I am not okay. They stabbed me in my leg.
Oh.
Is he talking in common now or what?
Yeah, he's speaking in common now that he's up.
Okay.
He's up and about. You can see that there's a gash on the left side of his back
I
left
like-
leg with
Wait,
green
how
blood.
big is his leg?
It's quite thick. His leg is like a foot diameter.
Give it a rating on like stick to Gareth.
On stick to Gareth, it's about
Can I, like-
60% Gareth.
All right.
They're stocky creatures.
Here, let me assist you, and I'm going to cast Invigoration. So
Okay.
you get 7.
Sure, you hold your hands over its wound, and the wound slowly begins to stitch itself shut. As you heal this turtle for 7 points of healing, and it slowly, tentatively puts its leg down in the water and tests the weight and goes,
Oh, wow, wow, you're like a priest. You're one of those priests. Oh, my, oh, wow.
Not necessarily, but I can hold my own.
Well, thank you, thank you. I don't know what I'd do if it weren't for you people here. They ambushed me in the woods.
Where did they come from? Just in the bushes, or just...
The trees. Like right out of the trees. I was just traveling with my goods, trying to do what I can for the riverboat people, but I couldn't handle 6 of them, and a hobgoblin, a hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin.
Yeah, that.
Hobgoblin.
So did
Man, he
Wait.
couldn't handle 6 on his own. What a fucking.
you
Not all of us are built like tanks.
Colonel Copperbear sent you? Tall man, brown hair, speaks faster than a horse runs.
Oh, yeah, yes, him. I'm one of his scouts. My name is Winnie.
Winnie, I love him.
I went into the woods 2 days ago to try and track the goblins and the hags, but I couldn't get through the barriers. And then when I thought I found a sneaky way through, the goblins came out of nowhere. Was that the legendary Bogart Redcap?
Yes?
I can't believe we're alive.
What do you mean? He wasn't too difficult to...
he looks at you, one eye blinks at a time.
I mean, yeah, no, I killed him myself.
He looks,
Legendary.
this creature looks down to the left and sees the slowly decaying halves of Bogart Redcap. Valerie, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Well, I'm so happy you did it. I just ducked down and tried to hide myself amongst the rocks, and don't pet me there. That's right there, a little higher. Yeah. Oh God. Stop. Wait. Stop it. Okay. Yeah, I just turtled up.
Sorry, I don't know. It came over me.
It's okay. These things happen. I understand.
Perhaps you should be making your way towards, Kirith then. We will take the mission from here.
No, wait, no. My mission. I have to complete it. Or
Is your
else
mission...
I am not Kirith's greatest tracker.
What is your mission?
Brunhild glares at Azarine, like, she doesn't say anything because it's like, it would be rude, but sir, I mean, I completely believe in your skills, but you have just been quite severely wounded, and my friend's magic ails pain, but it's still risky going out with your leg.
Roll persuasion against the turtle. Winnie the turtle.
I mean, we could just get the information from the scout and then go act on that information.
Get the fuck out of here, turtle.
Yeah, because if he finishes the mission, we're not getting the gold.
Broken's like,
I mean, he
not
did
gonna
say
do
that.
I mean, I was planning on getting as much information as I possibly can, and then sending him back to Kirith
Yeah.
to heal.
Yeah,
I wasn't planning on taking him with us.
Brookill can delay her persuasive power until you're done with him, quote unquote, but it looks like he's being receptive to the idea of going back home now that he knows you guys are working with Colonel Copperbell. But was there anything else you wanted to ask or comment about with him?
Valerie's
Where are the hags located?
Sorry. One more time. I suppose starting with Gareth.
Yeah. Where are the hags located? You're a trucker, yes?
Yes, I am the finest in all Kirith.
Alright, where are they?
Oh, they are far to the east. They are through the old mill and past the shallow creek. There's a tall tree trunk. It's said to be an elden tree trunk. And it is a dark part of the forest. If you do not follow the creek, then you will not get past their illusory barriers. Water is bane to dark magic.
Azreen perks up.
Don't you know how running water stops vampires? It is the same for their magics. So you must follow the creek. Though I must warn you, I've heard ghostly wails from down the way.
I appreciate the warning.
Are you certain you do not want me to follow? What if the trail goes cold? What if you must track a brilliant stag?
I believe that with your injuries, you are, well, it would be more helpful to us if you were to head back to Kirith and rest up. That way you can be back to 100% for the rest of the riverboat core.
All right, well, between you and the dwarf, I will return home. I will let the colonel know you are hot on the tail of the hags. Here is my address if you ever need my services.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And he writes out an address for you to be able to find in the
I'm
future.
a green unit! This is what he screams at me, just... Oh, God.
I wish you Godspeed on your travels, Mr. Winnie.
Indeed.
It's lovely to find you alive. Good luck. Good luck.
Godspeed, you four. I thank you for saving me. I wish I had more I could do for you.
Your information has helped us plenty.
Farewell, farewell.
And he starts to walk away. He lifts up his left leg.
Just hobbling away.
His right leg finally hits the next step. He begins the process of lifting his other leg.
Brookill leans into Azreen, who's closest to her. He's a scout?
He's probably still injured. He probably didn't get both of his legs healed.
He's very slow.
Or that.
He's a turtle.
They don't have, like, one movement. Player characters can be a portal. They don't...
Shut up, Salty.
This one is old.
Anyways, Gareth has already, like, begun his, like, 1 hour short rest. Like,
He just can't even talk without making bubbles. He's very slow.
He's very slow. Over the course of your hour-long rest in this creek, eventually, Winnie the turtle departs.
Wonderful.
We're all just sitting around the campfire, and he's still walking
He's
away.
still
We're all
walking
staring
away.
at him.
Yeah, no, and, like, I just want to say, like, just as a small thing, during that hour, unless if someone talks to him, like, he's just, like, quietly writing something on some parchment.
True.
Until, like, they're all ready to go.
No, I want to snoop on what he's doing.
Roll investigation.
Fuck you.
Because I'm useless and annoying.
Roll investigation to be useless and annoying.
What is
With a
it?
21,
I'm very good at being
Damn it,
useless.
With a
God damn it,
21 investigation.
I'll fucking message
You
you.
get mess.
Oh, I'm gonna message it to you.
dissonant whispers.
Is
That
that
was
what
power word kills. What that fucking was.
is that what mobs hear when Valerie just does like her cute little finger gun?
Apparently.
Literally,
Right?
turn off your mic
Yeah.
or unplug your mic, plug it back in, go to voice and video, do mic check, and see how you sound.
Just
Voice
turn
video.
on your gain or I don't know.
No,
That's
he
not-
can tell how it sounds if he goes to voice and video in settings and does a mic check.
This is a mic check. This is a mic check. This is a mic check.
God damn it. Well, you know what? It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Hello?
Alright, well, you're gonna get... Oh, great. Turned his shit off. No, you're not saying
We
anything
can't
now.
hear you.
You gotta restart. Hey, guess what? It's time to cut it off and go to break. That means stream is ending. We'll be back in like 5 to 7 minutes. I'm gray now.
Maybe your
and,
mic.
Break time. We're
And
having technical
William is my favorite friend. I love him very much.
My
and-
eardrums.
Yeah.